Greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am running a few minutes, but we're going to get right into it. How's everybody doing? Play a little music. Uh-oh, that's my anime.
You know, it's such a bright and sunny day. Everything just feels so good today. You know what I'm saying? I just see a new light. You know what I'm saying? I can see the trees. I'm not blind anymore. Since I met you, Jesus Christ. See, there's a smile on my face that comes from within, from up above. I've been so alone. Yeah. I've been so let down. Some of my closest family and friends, they could not be found. Yeah. I called on them day and night, got no answer. They didn't help me out. But when I called on Jesus, his time was clear. Answer my call and wipe away every one of my tears. He helped.
Okay. All right, we're going to get right into it. Talking about the president, who is really running the presidency. We're going to be talking about the snap. We're going to be talking about relationships. But first, I want to take a look at this. Just a little bit, because I can't be up here too long. Because unfortunately, I have some other engagements. Well, fortunately, I have been enjoying myself, but at the same time, we got to have some balance. We're going to talk about this situation here. I know this was been going viral about this lady in Texas. I think she in Houston. And I've noticed I was in different parts of Texas for a while, and I noticed some things, but I'm gonna let this play a little bit because I got different little clips that I'm gonna play, but like I said, I can't play the whole thing because I can't be up here like my normal stuff, like 3 and 4 hours and all that. I can't do that. No, can't do that. Hey, 7 grams, what's up? I can't be up here like I normally do. What's going? I see you earlier on as a I didn't know you was a moderator. That's cool. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. You gonna do great things. I be enjoying your y'all go check out 7 grams when y'all see this live if you're not up here now. I be enjoying your videos. I really enjoy them. I'm just gonna play a little bit of this. This my girl. Um, six the goddess. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. So why is it not? I don't know why I be doing this to me. Okay. Oh, I see what I need to do, and I should know this by now as many times as I've done it. Go back here and just add the screen. There we go. I'm just gonna play a little bit of this, and I'm gonna get to the part. This is the lady that she was going viral for crying all over the internet about she married this man. She here somewhere in Texas. I don't want to exactly say. I think I know what part she in, but she was crying because the man. I think what did he do? Left her or something like that. But we about to listen to it because I know my daughter sent this to me. But what was so viral about it, how vulnerable she was being and telling everything on the internet and how hurt she was, and she got a big following too. What is it, Kiki Jones? So let me play a little bit of it. I'm just
Six the goddess. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. Hope y'all are doing well. I am doing amazing. Now, this subject that we're going to talk about today, I got tagged so much, I thought something happened.
I'm about to turn this
I was getting
volume up.
tagged left and right. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I was like, what happened? Okay. And the story that I've been tagged in over and over is the story going viral of Kiki Jones, the woman that went viral for, kind of crying, grieving in her wedding dress. Okay. Now, I was hesitant to give my thoughts on this because I do not believe in weaponizing any marital pain of any woman.
Me
Okay.
either.
I think as women, we all have been there, those moments of you're crying and, oh my God, what was me? I think we've all been there. So at first I didn't want to cover it.
Yeah.
Number one, I wasn't sure if it was real. This is extremely sensitive. There's children involved. But then recently she did an interview at our friend's podcast over there at Hardly Initiated. And I was like, okay, I think it is time to just have the conversation because a lot of things was discussed that we just need to talk about. Okay. And by now we all know I'll be the villain. I'm really embracing this villain era. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not even a villain era. At this point, I'm just the permanent villain. I'm always going to be the one to say the things outside of what all everyday normal people say to continue.
And I'm not trying to demonize no man because it'd be some women out here doing a lot of stuff too. But it was another situation in Texas where the lady owned that restaurant, her husband. I don't even want to talk about what happened with her husband, but she was housing a guy that beat his girlfriend to the point of, I got pictures of it. This is a beautiful lady. He beat her to the point of looking like she about 60 years old. And this lady was housing him. The lady that owned the restaurant went to jail because she was housing this guy. And I don't personally met some women that's older than me. And they getting their butts kicked by these older men. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm thinking like we did this. Not like that though. But when we were younger, I've been involved in some stuff when I was, a teenager, like at that. But now, I really didn't think that our women were going through this kind of stuff like that now. And I believe men be going through it. Men be going through it too, and they shame to talk about it. But I know I was on a podcast not on a podcast, but I was listening to Mama T and Sister Diva, that lady that talks about she got that book about awakening the superpower, and you talking about the laws and how the Moors and how we need to be sovereign, and she got a university, a UNA university. She was talking about how that some of this stuff that the women going through is because we were trying to now in past lives, like my belief is you could have been a man, you could have been, you might be reincarnated as a human, in this form now, but you could have been at a lower form. But she's saying that a lot of women are receiving karma because of what they did to men in past lives, and During the time of rulership, they said they was trying to enslave the men. Not all women, but it was some women that was pretty harsh. And the men, the men is doing payback. And they said some of the men are afraid because they're scared that when the women coming back in, because it's the rise of the divine feminine. Say they're scared that when the women come back in the thank you. Say that when the women coming back into power, they are going to they're afraid, the men are afraid they're going to be harsh to them and enslave them again. Now I don't know. I asked my chat GPT that the one that's you pay for, and it said that that was not true, and that's what the one that Mama T said too. But what's the name? Sister Diva of the UNIA, was it UNA University? She said, it is true. And I know Dr. Phil and even a City Duke of Tears, some of them, see, I'm not biased. I don't like hate men, or I'm hate women, or jealous, or I'm not biased towards, I'm with the energy, and what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. In my opinion, I believe it was both ways. I believe it was some stuff like that going on. I believe it was some evil stuff going on both ends, which they were sacrificing children to the male gods. So I'm hearing they were sacrificing children to the goddesses, the female gods and stuff like that. So it's gonna be some stuff on both ends. So I'm not trying to be biased and like say it's all the men, and no, they said something happened for the men to want to take over. They didn't just wake up and say, "Oh, I'm going to take over the authority, overthrow these matriarchs." Which I thought that that was the case, but maybe there was something going on. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it probably was some imbalances going on, because Dr. Phil is very adamant, and the City Duke of Tears and a few of the other guys saying that it was a lot of evil going on when the matriarchs ruled. Now we know that all of them wasn't evil, but it's probably some women out there that was trying to enslave and control these men. And they said now, if you got like a lot of stuff going on with relationships and stuff like that, you reaping some karmas from the stuff you did in your past life, maybe. And that could, because she said there's no victim. So if you having some, it might, you might need to do some soul searching. And even the women, like, just when we crying about how bad we got treated, or and they say these relationships are reflections of us. So it might be some karma that we clearing up. We might not have a good picker. And I say we because when I look at the different women, like I just look at them like I have no picks, like with Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Those are all industry people that have come into the industry at very young ages, when they were really struggling and in poverty and stuff. And honestly, none of us are. I'm going from here to there. None of us are poor. When we born, if we don't sign that birth certificate, we got money. The birth certificate is what make us, not able to get access to our funds or whatever. But we are auction on the stock market, so we ain't none of us poor. And what I'm saying is, I have no picks about, because if I look at them as different aspects of, maybe not me as to say, but it's certain ways I felt, you know, we look at them, we can learn some. It's different aspects of all of us, and we all are one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really pick and choose and take sides. I know I call things out. I don't think certain things are right that they are really flaunting before our young girls and boys and stuff like that. But at the same time, they take advantage of these people that are stars that come into this industry to promote their propaganda of hurt, wounded women and men. And a man can have a wounded wound too, because the prostrate is a dysfunctional wound. So y'all have to really do a lot of healing and stuff too, because y'all have the same thing we have. You just the inverted version of us, and I know that's hard for a lot of the men to, because they lied to us. But y'all have a lot of, if a man been through a lot with his mother and women and stuff, that's a lot of hurt that needs to be healed. Because a lot of times these guys, I ain't making no excuse, but a lot of time they taking this stuff out on these women because they angry with their mothers and the women that raised them and stuff like that. I call him my buddy because I used to listen to him and be in his academy. But young Pharaoh, he had a lot of childhood trauma and a lot of mommy issues and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's the reason why he had that incident, because I know they was after him because he was really banging on a lot of the small hats and stuff like that. He was even talking about a lot of the people that we think are uh, righteous leaders. I ain't gonna get into that, but he was calling them out, saying they were agents, even with the Malcolm X stuff. I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm saying he had a lot of issues and stuff like that too. And a lot of times he was in his Saturn's return. Y'all, men and women, we all got to be careful. We in that Saturn's return. That's that. The first one is when you're around 28, 29. Maybe it start like it could start between 20, 27, 26 to 29. That's that Saturn's return. That's tough. A lot of people really, it's I've experienced it myself. I went through mine and it was hell. Then I've experienced it with some of my younger family members and my kin, and it's tough. That a lot of times that's when you get you have nervous breakdowns, you get illnesses, you really just feel like you at the end, you get thoughts of taking yourself out with that Saturn's return. You have to be careful. Then you go through another one. That's why a lot of people pass in their 50s, because you go through your second. So look it up. Don't go by my word. You go on your second Saturn's return when you are in your 50s, and that's when a lot of people leave out of here because they say they decide. Now that sounds strange saying you decide to leave, but I know when I had my incident in 2015, I made a choice. At first I was like, yeah, I'm tired. I want to go. And I was, I was outside of my body, and I was like, this shit is peaceful. Like, I'm so free. No cap, no joke. Then I started thinking about how young my children were, and I was like, well, dang, this is gonna be hard on them. This is gonna be hard on them. Then I heard my son was like, Mom, they were getting ready to go out to a party. My son was like, Mom, let's go to, I don't know how he knew, but he was like, let's get out of here and go. Because if they would have left, and went to that party, when they had come back, I would have been in the spiritual world. I know I would, because I felt I was already basically outside of my body, because I was I was losing a lot of fluids and stuff like that. So I don't know what caused it. I know I was under too much stress. I was doing too much. I don't know. They talking about somebody tried to poison me. Could have been whatever it was, or I could have been poisoning myself with the way I was thinking at that time and the anger and the stuff I was going through. That's why it's time you had to let stuff go. But we're gonna listen to this. But I just want to tap on a little bit about about these relationships. I mean, and like she said, she gonna say some people just not meant to be in no relationship. They meant to be here to raise their kids. You can't get with these people, and you got little kids. It take a lot of attention to pay for these children, and these relationships taking you away from your kids and stuff like that. Somebody being neglected.
Illusion and ego that they encapsulate themselves in order to cope with the world and avoid their true selves, and the code that society stays on, that we all just keep things very, very shallow so that none of us have to actually look within. I'll be the one to say F all that, and I'm going to be the one to say it. I don't mind by now. So we don't care.
Here we go. I don't have a daggone what is it called when you don't have a commercial. I swear don't.
We still gonna do this reaction. I don't care. Oh, don't listen to her. She don't know what she's talking about. That woman is beautiful. It's just fine. She thick. It doesn't matter. And I said, listen, a lot of y'all don't know what you don't know. And you don't know that many of the ways that you're operating, you don't have to settle for that. You don't have to do that. This should not be normal. It is a scarcity mindset that now the smallest interaction from a man sends you over the ledge. And a lot of people got upset. And this situation right here reminds me of that. Now,
listen at
what really set me off about this situation was the fact this woman has 2 children and 2 daughters.
And they took the children.
When you're a woman and God is sending you nothing but daughters, my God, today, read the room. Okay, we all are our mothers, whether you want to or not. You are going to be like your mama. Now, that could be a good or a bad thing, or it can be both, depending on the day, depending on the mood. However,
yeah, she got daughters, but even when you got sons, you got to be careful. Them boys is very fragile too. Like, we think they tough because they boys. Them little boys, they be after them little boys too. Sometimes people get with you just for the fact of your kids. It don't even be about you. It's sad. It be about your children, and they love it. They love it when you got a fan when you isolated like that. I be warning these girls, be careful because everybody don't have your best interest at heart, and you are naive. Like how can I say this? I ain't trying to say that I was just always skeptical of people. I even when I was like real young, I didn't trust nobody around my kids. I barely trusted the biological parents. So I didn't trust. I didn't just didn't trust I ain't trust nobody. And this stuff still happen, and I was still watchful. So sometimes stuff when you got to go to work and stuff like that, and you got to have people. I mean, honestly, I just got tired. I said I'm just gonna keep my own children. I ain't getting no babies. I ain't messing with family. I'm just gonna let them watch themselves, and I watch them, and we work it out. Like I'm not going through this because I'll be in jail. I will. Like I just got tired because people be all right certain years, then they change up and get weird and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be careful. Um, you be thinking people want to be with you, but a lot of times they want them kids got that energy, that innocent energy and stuff like that. You got to be careful with daughters and sons. They say, "Oh, daughters, no, you got to watch out." They want the little boys too. They want the little boys, and that's what's wrong with a lot of our boys. They confuse their identity. They can't tell nobody what happened to them, and they angry with mama because it was mama husband or mama boyfriend. In some cases, it was biological family members, brother, the older siblings, the sister too. Women get away with it. They say they are, you know, pedophiles too. And they make it sound good because they'll say, oh, well, at least it was a woman that took my virginity or messed with me when I was a little boy. That's still wrong. That's still pedophile failure too. It's just as wrong for a woman to do as it is for a man. That ain't nothing. That mess you up as a man with your appetite and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? With your sexual appetite and different things. It causes a lot of problems.
You have got to be viciously aware of the dysfunctions that need to be broken within the feminine in your bloodline.
Uh
This is
oh.
why it is extremely important to be tapped in with your female ancestors as a woman, especially when you have daughters, especially when you have multiple daughters that look just like
Like
you. It's
you.
God's way of saying, get it right this time.
Get it right.
It's
Yep.
God's way of putting yourself in an image that you're supposed to love more than yourself to motivate you to break
Hmm.
those cycles. 90% of women don't break them because breaking them is extremely hard. Breaking those cycles requires long periods of being by
A
yourself.
long
It
time. Yeah.
requires long periods of zero validation. Not
She ain't lying. If working on yourself and doing that shadow work as a woman, it's gonna be some painful, lonely nights. You ain't gonna be going to the party. You ain't gonna be going out to the Red Lobster or whatever, or Cruise Chris. Sometimes you're gonna turn some things down. You're gonna get that sacral chakra in order. You're gonna learn to have control over that. When you get that desire, a lot of times you're gonna tell that lower self, no, no, I don't. I need to stay away from that. No, no, I'm not. I gotta work. I gotta put my healing before my flesh. You know, you're gonna learn some self control to take accountability and heal that. Break them curses and that and your that woman that matriarchal line. You're gonna it's gonna take some work. She is not. She know what she talking about. It takes some work. That's some work. And you're gonna have to look in the mirror and tell yourself sometimes I am the problem. It's
nine
me.
times out of 10, breaking these cycles requires you to do it alone with no help, no support. And those three reasons alone are why majority of women will close their eyes, ignore
That's right.
abuse, deal with dysfunction, deal with shit man, deal with just all type of
And
BS.
we entitled as women, we feel like nobody don't supposed to tell us. No, I'm just gonna tell it because I deal with a lot of women, and well, I don't deal with them as much as I used to because I was in the medical field. So I dealt with women from all cultures, all races and colors and shapes and sizes. And even in my family, I dealt with a lot of women. I grew up with a lot of men, but I also dealt with, women, the matriarchs. They kind of ran the family. We do not want nobody to tell us nothing and hold us accountable. We do not know how to look in the mirror and check ourselves. will keep going and want you to agree with it. And I've been in situations where if I didn't agree with these women in the family, then I'm against them. I'm like, listen, no, let me tell you something, sister. If you wrong, you wrong. I don't care if you my blood or not. If you in the wrong, you in the wrong, and you wrong. And I've been criticized and looked at as the black sheep and the villain because of how I speak truth to darkness. Like I don't like. It's been times when I've had married couples and stuff, older married couples, and I seen how they was talking wrong to the husband, and I'll say, listen, you don't do that. You don't treat him like that. I don't care what he did. If you with him, yeah, that's supposed to be the past. That's what I was taught. The past is in the past. You don't get back with nobody and then you torture them for the thing you just supposed to forget them from and y'all starting off anew. I know you're not gonna wholly forget it, but if they trying, they trying, okay? Like you can't go back and clean up somebody what somebody did. But if you decided and made an agreement to start all off new, yeah, you're gonna think about it. It's gonna cross your mind. But if you see them trying to make up for it, you don't torture somebody and antagonize them. And I speak out on stuff like that. Cause I know how that, I know how that feel. Not that I've been in a situation where I done did something to my mate and I got back and I'm trying to make up for it. But I just know like that's not right. That's abuse. That's abuse, and women do that. They do that, and I guess men do too. But I spoke out about it, and I've been looked at as a bad guy. So oh well, I don't care. I still did it. I'm not gonna condone stuff like that. I'm definitely not gonna condone somebody mistreating somebody and stuff. But here we go.
Because the true healing from it is too hard. So it
It
becomes
is.
a matter of choose your heart. It's going to be hard anyway. Doing like this, la, 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 and ignoring all the dysfunction is harder than facing it. So who cares if you have to go through a short phase of loneliness? Who cares if no one supports you? Especially when you have children that ideally you should want better for than you.
Exactly.
Um,
Mm,
so
mm.
every time I feel bad for me, I regret it.
Every pet is different. So Lemonade lets you customize your policy to give yours the
It
coverage
don't
they
make no sense
actually
though.
need. Lemonade also
Look,
offers
it's one
preventative
thing
care
to
add-ons
express
to keep
yourself,
your
but
pet healthy. Pro tip, the sooner you sign up, the more
she ain't got no shame.
I respect that you are supposed to get from your husband as a wife, period, no matter what.
Yeah.
Any woman that has that covering and level of respect snatched from under her I don't agree with that for anyone. I don't care what you look like.
Yeah, this lady got a big following. Kiki Jones. She be looking good. I mean, she don't look bad to me right there. Six gonna say the woman look rough, but I think she lost weight, and then when she got with that man, she gained it back. She did that gastric bypass or something like that. But she said she done been. He was the first man that didn't beat her. But then somebody said when she went to get her stuff, he hit her or whatever. Is all these men, even the woman that own them people that own the restaurant and the poor people, and all these men here abusive? Are they? Are they? I'm just wondering. Not like in the world, but I'm talking about in this area, in the area, in the area that this stuff is all going on. Seem like in the same area. What in the hell? And I don't know, dude. I don't think they respond to domestic violence here. Like, oh, I am, no.
Where you're from. I don't care if you purple, black, white, or green. I don't think any woman deserves that. I respect marriage, and I don't want to sit in, oh, that's what you get to this woman. That's not what
Yeah,
this
she
is about.
just saying that it's wrong for how he treated her or whatever. But I'm gonna fast forward this on.
Valuing you, and instead of handling that, you wiped your tears, tried to get the puffiness off your eyes, press play on that camera. Look at me and my husband, yeah. Which is why I will stand by this until the day I croak. Happy, truly happy couples do not require social media validation. I don't care what no one say. This is not the same social media from 10 years ago.
So
Back then, you could post a little boo on your MySpace and all that. We are not in those days anymore. Okay. So first, let it be known. that this woman wiped her tears and then turned that camera on to make it seem like, look at us, we on a cruise. And I hate to see that, because you put an unrealistic idea of what this is. Y'all don't be telling the truth about what be going on behind closed doors. And then before you know, you got young, beautiful, single women feeling bad about themselves, talking about something. Where my husband? Well, sweetie, you could get one too if you're willing to ignore 22 red flags. You too could have a husband for the low cost of ignoring 27 red flags. So many red flags, baby, it's 6 flags. I think it's disingenuous. There's a mental illness crisis in our community. There is a severe lack of relationship skills in our community.
Yeah.
And it's up to us as women. The men, it's not going to happen with them. It's up to us as women to stop covering for your husband and instead doing the work to make sure the wives, the young women who come after you, don't have to live in a marriage like yours, where you get online and say, this is my husband, so great. And then when you get off, you're watching him fuck other bitches. Okay. And crying.
Oh, and newsflash, she has some mental issues. I think she bipolar, schizophrenic. She lost her kids. She said she gave them up to the grandmama or something, because if can't nobody take the children if they ain't there. So they kind of feel like she might have chose that man over them little girls. Them little girls, they young. Her children so young, you would think she wouldn't have the time for trying to, get involved with this man and all his problems. And she said he had like 7 women. And he was really in love with his wife, and the family told her this. So she kind of knew, they say don't mess with no man that don't love you more than you love him, because that's going to be a problem anyway when you like the man more than he like you. So I don't know. I'm on. You can kind of tell she got something going on there.
Though. Sleep at night knowing deep down you're not good enough. Sitting next to him while he on the phone looking for the next bitch he gonna fuck. And then y'all say, well, I know about it. So, girl, okay. Whatever you got to tell yourself, baby. I ain't here to... One thing I've learned, don't pull the veil over no married woman eye, baby. Whatever lie she told herself to cope, leave her alone. Let her have that. But what I would like to see is for y'all to stop lying to other women. All right? So that's the first thing. She cries, turns the camera off, and then it's like, ooh, look at my husband content. That is extremely problematic. You can't do that. You cannot show only the highlight reels of your marriage. Any relationship, good or bad, has good times.
Yeah.
No, show us the argument. Show us when you packed your shit and went to stay with your mama.
Had a lot of loose skin, and he just
go.
Even then, you need to
hear her talking. You about to start talking. You gonna see. You might have seen this. This is sad.
Things to yourself. Okay. What do y'all think they're going to say when y'all are like, hey, nice to meet you. Okay, my name's Kiki. By the way, I've been raped, molested, shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Too much information.
Your traumas are your traumas to handle. They need to be handled through yourself and with God, or with a doctor, or maybe a very trusted mentor, family, friend, something like that. But that whole meeting a man and telling him how you've been dogged out your whole life, ain't nothing good coming from that.
No.
So let's just take note of the mistakes here. Let's use this as a learning experience. Once again, I hope this is not coming off as, ooh, girl, you so stupid. Look what happened to you. I really hope this is not giving that. That is not my tone here. We are simply breaking this down to learn the lessons from it in real time. All right. But yikes.
on plate. Then after that, I had to move. It was time for me to move. And he's like, let me move you. I said, you want to move me? You sure? For free? Yeah, I got you. I'm going to move you. I let him move me. While in the process of moving, he said, hey, you ever been to this restaurant? I said, no, I've never been a photo child, Mm-hmm. So he said, well, I'm just taking you on a date as a friend. And I said, okay, we can do that because you moved me. I tried to pay him. He didn't want to take no money. So I was like, that's the least I can do is get this man a date, right? As a friend. And from there, I had surgery because of my weight loss. I had a lot of loose skin. And he just instantly was doing for me. He was putting stuff together, cleaning, changing my dresses. He just seemed like it was just too good to be true. And I was like, well, God, is you telling me that maybe this is what I need to have?
Is you telling me it's time? Because I told God when the time is right, I'll do it. But I wanted to heal. I've been through too much. It was time to heal. And 2 years later, this man came out the blue. They say he comes when you're not looking. So I said, maybe this is it for me, you know? Let me get this man a chance. And he wasn't my type. I no shade, no tea. He wasn't my type. But they told me, I don't know if you see all the time, they say, stop picking your type. Your type is what's hurting you. Stop choosing your type. So I said, let me not choose my type. Let me give him a shot. Let me help him dress. Let me help him smell good. Let me make him, you know, let me up him, you know? And it was good. It was good for a little while.
In the dating phase, how long was that dating phase?
It was a year and a half. 2023 in August. 2023 in August. He proposed in 2024 on my birthday. And he kind of ruined my birthday for me now, actually, now that I say that. But
now I think there was also I think there was a pretty big surprise you found out while you were dating him. So what were those things that popped up that you found out or discovered through that dating period?
Yeah, this girl, she came up and she told me, well, I looked at his phone actually. I don't know what I was looking for, but I don't know if you know about iPhones. It tell you what you had them saved under before. So it said maybe wife. I said, maybe wife. And yeah, the Cancer in me, I'm a Cancer. I contacted her. He was asleep. He always snoring in sleep. That's when I do it. So
wait, he had another woman. Wait. He had another woman name saved in his phone as maybe wife. Whoop. Okay. Wow. So maybe the signs were there.
I asked him, say, hey, what's going on? Are you the ex-wife? She said, the ex-wife? I'm the wife. I said, the wife? He's married? Wow. He said, he don't want to give me a divorce. And I had her on speaker. I said, I hit him, wake up and listen to this. Like, what you mean you married? You know, you married. I said, I don't play those games. I don't play with married men. Like, do you understand what could happen to me? Like, you see that I'm focused. I'm content. I'm being strong. I'm dealing with a sickness. I'm strong. I got kids, and you're married. So I did. I told him he had to go. And that was the first time I was officially done. But he showed up on my doorstep like a week later showing me.
Oh yeah, these women, you gotta watch these men that show up and they want to be like taking care of you I worked in the medical profession and most of the men, they ain't too much into that stuff like it's some probably, but the ones I've seen in the personal life, the family members and the men I see, it's because they insecure and they going through something. They don't want a fully healed, well woman because they feel like a sick woman won't leave them, or a woman that's like a beastly overweight and stuff like that. You got to be careful because it's not coming from the right mindset too. I don't know. I just wanted to put that in there. If they want a sick woman all the time or a woman that can't walk and all that kind of stuff, it's some deeper psychological issues going on.
That they're going to get a divorce.
I mean, it's different if they meet you and you are healthy and then you get sick and they stick by you. That's what they're supposed to do. And you're supposed to stick through them if y'all married for sickness and in health, rich or poor, and what is it, better or worse. But I'm talking about somebody meeting you off the gate and they well and you sick and they ready to jump in like a nurse or man. No, that's suspect to me. I don't know about that one. I ain't seen nothing good come from that.
That they're going to get a divorce, crying and said, we can go to God about this. And it's like, yes, I took him back. Yes, I took him back. You know, as long as that divorce was pending, you was going to do it. You did. He said, they went to dinner. They talked about it. And he told me that she cheated on him. She had a baby on him. He just wanted to be loved. That's what he
had low self-esteem and some mental. Because this man told me one time, I said, you a younger man, you dating a woman and she that older and sick. You know what that man told me? If the woman can't walk, then he knows she can't go nowhere. I was like, oh hell no. So you want somebody to be sick. You want somebody to be sick so you can have the advantage. So you gonna take that check and go out to the club. You know she gonna be sitting home waiting for you because she really can't move and stuff.
There's so many things here. First of all, I'm gonna say this and I need y'all to really listen to what I'm saying. If a man ever just volunteers and admits to you that a woman cheated on him, red flag for many reasons. Number one, don't no man want to admit no woman cheated on him.
Hell no.
That's the first thing. We all know if a woman cheat, 9 times out of 10, women don't cheat the same way and reason men do. So a man is not going to go to the world and say he got cheated on because he knows that most people will feel as though, well, what were you not doing? It shows him to be a man lacking something. No man with any self-respect want to go to the world and be like, yeah, she cheated on me. When y'all see a man and a woman is actively leaving and he's like, yeah, she cheated, red flag every single time. All right. Every single time, because an abuse tactic is to neglect your partner, your spouse to such a high degree and for such long periods of time. Notice she said refusing the divorce. So he won't leave. He won't divorce. Their abuse tactic is to stay married to you or stay tied to you, yet mistreat, neglect, and abandon you. So to avoid the accountability, they can then turn around and they'll be like, oh, she cheated. Have neglected, abandoned her for months and years. So they can go to other people and say, look, see, I told you. I just wanted to be loved and she cheated. Mm. Women do this in an extent too, but in the opposite way. When they're trying to get an out from a marriage, they will purposely stop sleeping with that man for months and years, then stalk him, go through his phone, follow him around.
Yeah, set him up. They'll withhold. Women do that. They'll withhold affection, and they know a man ain't gonna go but so long without getting them a piece. So then they'll set them up because they know they're gonna go and be with somebody when they're not getting it at home. Even if you don't want to be with them, they're gonna find somebody gonna give them what they need or whatever. That's true. She's right. Women do it too.
And when he gets some from someone else, she will not highlight all she did in the marriage. She'll just say, look, he cheated.
That's right.
We do not give up as he should. Okay. So.
Point did you
love podcasting but hate editing? The next 30 seconds will change your life.
The reason Riverside is the place you want is it is a one-stop.
Did you think, hey, this is probably going to end up the exact way that his last relationship ended?
Probably, but honestly, at that stage, those red flags was looking green. I was definitely colorblind. I just, like I said, it's been a while since I even dealt with someone, and I love the fact that he was there for me, and that's all that I ever wanted.
I really would like to know, why do y'all think that y'all can stop sucking dick for a year or two and then that just resets you and you're healed?
Oh God.
You see what I'm saying? Why do y'all think that?
No, she did.
I think that's like an easy way out. That ain't how it goes. A lot of women want to not participate in the game as their way of winning it. You don't win the game by not participating in it. Dating, winning, losing, heart wins, heartbreaks are part of the process. Ain't nobody exempt. So sometimes that I wasn't talking to anyone, that celibate stuff is really just you running from yourself. And I'm gonna hold y'all hand when I say this, but not sucking dick for 2 years is not gonna make y'all a better person. Okay. In my opinion, it make it worse. Because now that is, my God, that's 24 months. No peen, no man hands on you. Ooh. No testosterone. Ooh. You imbalanced. Ooh. You imbalanced, baby.
Some women,
I believe that make it worse.
Okay? I don't know, but she got to understand. She probably like one of them women that's balanced. These women, they probably don't need to be messing with no man because some of them, their mind is so weak. They'll get with them and fall in love and just pick anybody. So might be good for them to. Some people, in my opinion, they don't need to be doing nothing because they can't handle it. If you are mentally, spiritually healthy, you know how to look at dating and you know how to date. You know how to not just you think that because you sleeping with somebody, then you in love and blah 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 blah. Most women don't know how to pick. In our community, they don't know how to date. and they don't know how to choose, because of trauma. They're not healed, and then they're naive, and nobody taught them and stuff like that. Some of them other cultures, they've been taught how to play the game. Our women don't know. A lot of our women don't know how to date. They don't know how to pick or choose. And a lot of them are sadly have been abused in the home and stuff like that, with family members. And when they get out here, they just sheep to the slaughter, pretty much. And that's sad. That's really sad. So
Be celibate for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But at some point,
I see what you're
celibacy
saying.
becomes women's outlet to run from the game. You cannot run from the game. It's just the way life go.
I see what she's saying.
It's going
But
to be
some people, when they be celibate, they be hungry. They be so hungry. So she's saying it's not good for them because they'll just be like, "Oh, I've been without a man this long," and they just go crazy because they've been without it. Like, yeah, she writes. Some people just that'll make them more hungrier to get into trouble.
wins, going to be some losses. Overdone celibacy means you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your puss. Trust your puss. Before you give a man some pussy, go to your ancestors and ask them, ancestors, should I give this man some pussy? They're going to guide you. They're going to tell you. Okay. So I think that if you're a heterosexual woman, being without some masculine energy and touch and balance for years,
I feel on that. Like,
I think it makes you even more unhealthy. I think it makes you
got a point. You gotta have some
of
balance.
more scarcity. I think it makes you look like more of a victim. Because if you're a heterosexual, you need that. Now, I'm not saying, oh, go out.
What's going on? What's going on, Ultra Instinct? Greetings. I'm looking at this. You see this with this lady. She's supposed to have a big following. Kiki Jones. She got up here and was crying. I ain't showing that part, but that's sad how she just broke down and tore her dress and cut her dress up because I think the man, he left her or something. It just, whatever happened, it was devastating. Whatever happened.
Give something to someone next day. But what I'm saying is years and years, in my opinion, it's a false way of not participating so you don't lose. And many of the women in those years and years, they just think, oh, I'll just see Nick. But you're avoiding the shadow work that need to be done. Looking at the generational.
She right. I think she in Houston. I think she in Texas. I think she in Houston with the turkey hut lady. You know about that? What happened with that? I don't know what's going on in that city.
Purses.
They always got something to say about that. They got a couple. They got a couple of serial killers. They finding people in the bayou, the people hanging, burning, and it just I don't know. And it's like no matter whether they like in the poverty or the high sedity people, seem like it's a lot of domestic violence going on. But when I looked at the grid lines and stuff for that state, it said that it's a very it's built on where it's suppressing the serpentine energy, and it's like you got to hustle, go. It's built off of the energy of the oil, and you got they just it's like for certain people it's a pull and a strain because it's a city where it's about getting it, just mere materialism and showing off and getting it money and just like this. It's a really strange. It's not a lot of water energy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I like aligned with nature like that. It's on a Saturn. It's on a Saturn. It's on a Saturn Mars line. Yeah. So if you looking at your what is it, not cardiology, but if you're looking at the chart where you look at where you're supposed to live, you don't want to move on your Mars and your Saturn line. And then Saturn is retrograding in Pisces now. So I don't know. Maybe these women is living in the wrong place and they ain't checking that out. Cause sometimes you gotta move where you from too. Maybe they from here and they don't need to be here because it's a lot of conflict going on with a lot, from my understanding, with and it's supposed to be the. I seen where they busted some people that was trafficking, sex trafficking, like women at clubs and stuff like that. I seen it on the news or whatever. I'm not on the news, but I seen it in an article. But yeah, when I first went there, I felt when I first visited there, I felt heavily oppressed. Like I was like, what have they done to these women, or and probably men too? I don't know, but it's from what I'm seeing, it seemed like it look like they doing something. Like I, I don't know. I know it's a lot going on. I don't know if the world know about it, but
And dysfunction that
it's a lot of broken people, women and stuff here in that area or whatever.
need to be addressed. And if you're not doing all of that, then
Yeah,
you not
yeah,
Nick for 2 years,
astrocartography,
I'm gonna
right?
hold your hand. It's not going to help.
It don't
In
seem
my
and
opinion,
it
you're
don't
gonna be
seem like a good place to date because every time you turn around, they talking about somebody got some kind of disease, and it's just my family member says people coming from other. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. And that's a main look. She right. It's not good to be without feeling a man's touch and having interaction with a man, and that's and because you ain't gonna know how to act around men and stuff like that. I'm glad that I do, but I just I think sex is beautiful. I love it, but I'm not about to be in no place and the people. I'm not about to be doing that. It ain't got to be. It ain't got to do with my thing. Ain't got to do with the fact that I don't want to do. It's not safe because during the time I noticed back in the day, these things unchanged. The people that we go to the like we'll go to the doctor if we break up or whatever. We'll go on a date and go to the doctor a couple of times before we link back up and have a date at the doctor's office, like getting tested. That's how we roll. This ain't the same group of people. I ain't around no group of people. These people just seem like they just free willy. You listen. Oh, you can't even have oral sex now. It's something called it's in my chat GBT because some lady was up here talking about she got something that messed her up where she had to do physical therapy from just getting oral sex from her boyfriend. They broke up. He gave somebody else oral sex and he came back to her. It's called it's a new thing. It's probably old, but they can't find it testing you for regular STDs just from getting oral pleasure. It's called some kind of plasma or something. Where the women, it'll mess up the wall of they bladder, where they constantly can't stop using the bathroom on themselves. They got to go through physical therapy. It do something to the walls of the bladder, and it do something to the men too. Now this just from oral, just from oral pleasure. She said that's what she likes, and it's women out there and men that that's all they. Some people they like they don't really get it turned on with the penetration. The men, it's some men that like that more, and there's some women that like that more. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's where I'm telling you, cause I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't never been one to really be into like that. That's where all the I'm gonna be honest. We talking grown folk stuff. That's what all the feeling to me was anyway, was in that clitoris. I ain't all that you gotta be 13, 14. I ain't never like nothing like that. If I see something like that, I'll run. I wouldn't not. I am scared. I'm scared of something like that. I wouldn't dare. I would think something like that would put me in the hospital. I ain't never been into all that. If that's what I look. You know what I'm saying? But now you can't even do that because it's you get that shit. I'm being honest though. I mean, I just would never. I don't understand what all the rah was about somebody having what that ain't even. I don't think that's human. I don't think I'm being real. I don't think perfect seven, honey. If it go a little farther than that, I'm just being real. Even 9, I'd be like, hey, take it easy, because I ain't with all that. I be like, you gotta have something wrong with you. That's what I tell my friends. And I'm like, girl, you always talking about you need to have a man that got good something. That what happened to you? Cause it don't take all that. It don't take all that for me, baby. By the time they get, you get the damn oral fellatio, I'm about good to go. It don't take much after that. No, I was being real. I'm just gonna be honest. I ain't got it all. It look, I'm more into the foreplay type stuff. But now I ain't even saying, yeah, what the hell? Like, you can't get no daggone oral play now without word. And I had a download about it. I had a download about that too, because I was like, something was like, you got to be careful too, because people, you know how they used to say the dog mouths are cleaner than the human mouths. So I got a download about that recently, and I ain't even gonna lie, I was thinking like, it sure would be nice. I'm here. Look, I'm a spiritual person in the human form. I ain't no holier than thou, motherfucker. I was like, Lord, this sure would be nice then. Whew, somebody to kiss on me. Then you know what the spirit said? You better be careful, because even though you're a strong-minded person, and that might be as far as you will go, you can't even do that now. I look up on the thing, here they come talking about some. Here they come talking about some. Oh, I was with this guy and we broke up. He went and gave this other girl some oral pleasure. He come back to me. This motherfucking girl said she had to go. She said the antibiotics for that stuff. She said she didn't even have she didn't have sexual contact with him. He just gave her some oral pleasure. That lady said that antibiotic she took, she had to take that antibiotic for 6 to 8 weeks. She really went in depth about it. I was short up here. That lady said she took that. This is after I got the download about it. Like, yeah, you gotta warn people about that too, because it's not safe just doing that. Because we used to think like, if I just do that, it's not that, it's not like the same thing as you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, like. Foreplay and stuff like that. Come on now, we grown. Like, that stuff feel good. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't even know who like it more than me or me. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty much can be good with that. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't gonna I wouldn't do nobody, but I mean, if you're gonna tell me like that's all I'm gonna do, I just want to give you that. Hey, with me, that's all gonna happen because I'm good. Like, if we got an agreement that we're gonna go on through, I ain't gonna just do you like that. But if that's what you trying to promise, then hell, I'm good. I see why the men like it. Hell, I like it too. But listen, man, you can't do it. And I don't do that. But at the same time, I felt that. I was like, these people, if the dog mouth, I was like, so the dog mouth is clean. I've been thinking this for years. I said, so the dog mouth is cleaner than human mouth. Then this friend of mine, way back in the day, he said he got mono from that shit rough. He said he got mono from the girl giving him oral sex. Now, mono is it's a germ that's found in your nose, like in your respiratory fluids. It's found in there. But if it gets in, as far as gets out and get to the other person, if it get out of whack, mono would about kill you, because it's kids that I work with, babies, they had it. Your fever go up in the middle of the night. While you sleeping, your shit goes about 102 and above. You got to get in an ice bath and all that. You do. It's rough. Mono, it's nothing they can treat it with. You just got to take Tylenol and shit to keep your fever down and put yourself in cold baths. And it rise up in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah. And you don't get it. That's not necessarily what you get it from. Babies and stuff get that shit. Babies get it. Because I was working at a hospital, and I believe because I was doing the and I'm real clean too, but still that don't matter. That told me right then, no matter how much I wash my hands working at them places. And I had a friend that got something too. She was a nurse and she carried some home to her baby. She gave her baby MRSA. And I believe I gave my baby mono, and that shit was hell. Like that shit was hell. Like I couldn't. It's no medicine. I had to give him like baby Tylenol and stuff. Put him in cold baths. His fever was. I mean, that's anyway. That lady said she had to. Not only did she had to take that medication for that many weeks. Say why does the body? It's scary. Yeah, and I mean they don't made trying to just get some oral. They don't made just trying to feel good some bullshit now. Yeah, it's I mean, because you know how men, men, women too. Men, the women don't talk about this. But you know how men will be like, yeah, the women that they want, men love that. Black men, the women do too. The little do it be known men. I think I might like it just as much, but I ain't playing with it. And I be in a relationship. I'm like, well, that's a given. That's a must. Like that's the tip of the iceberg. That's the icing on the cake right there. Who shit, yeah. But you can't even do that now. Like you don't know how clean these people mouth. And they don't test for that. You gotta specifically what in the hell is these doctors doing? They know these people going around here having, they using they shit. Oral, anal, all that. That ain't nothing new. I don't know why it's any the human beings. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just the men. The women be doing anal and all that. These doctors is not testing for this stuff that they call plasma something. That shit'll fuck you up. Yeah, I'm letting y'all know, and y'all can look for it. And yeah, that's sad, ain't it? Right. So it's a mess out here, and they know that they mouth ain't clean. I don't believe these people be brushing their teeth and stuff like they supposed to either. They don't they don't scrape their tongue and they don't clean. And when I brush, I use I shouldn't, and if I'm drinking, I shouldn't use no alcohol in my but I got that 12-hour stuff, which I ain't want to pay all that money for the Walmart brand, but I got the Kroger brand of that stuff that's supposed to last 12 hours of, but it got a little alcohol in it. The last one I got didn't have no alcohol in it, but it was okay. But this here I can really taste the mininess in it or whatever. It's a 12-hour thing, and they got a Kroger brand. It's not that expensive. It's probably like $6 or $7, but the other one is probably like 13, or it might be less than that. It might be 13. That's not it, but I'm gonna get the cheapest version. But the people don't floss. And when I do my teeth, I use baking soda. I use that charcoal toothpaste. And I might look at my teeth, and I get it right from the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna keep it real. Now, I used to buy that. Sometimes I can't find that because it run out. So I'll buy that the charcoal activated from that's like $6 or two, like $5 or $6. When I can't, find the one at the Dollar Tree. But honey, I use baking soda, and I'll floss, and I put a little coconut oil in there to pull the cavities. It's just cheap. This is cheap stuff. And I found out coconut oil is I found out that coconut oil, yeah, folks doing a lot we didn't do back in the day. I don't know what they doing. They doing too. They having too many partners. So I believe they putting these diseases out here. Cause back in the day, these people was out here having more sex than they having now. Back in the 70s when they was on them shrooms and acid and stuff, back in that, my dad and them, my stepdad and them said they used to fuck all day. And they could go to the doctor and get a shot and be good. So they was out there having orgies and doing a whole bunch of sexual stuff back in the day. I think that they want us to do it now, but get disease. They want us to do it with these some sick people. I think they put a few of these rich men and women out here, the famous people, and they pump them with the diseases so they can spread it to everybody. That's where it's coming from. Cause I try to tell them this on a live years ago. I was telling them when I put it's a live I got called High Value Disease. These rich men, when they sleep with women, they do not wear protection. I don't know. Y'all might be rich men or whatever. Y'all might be smarter or whatever. When I say rich, I'm talking about the ones, got it going on. A lot of them, they don't want to wear no protection. They do not want to wear no protection. I'm telling you. I'm not gonna do if I know you, if I don't me and you ain't been tested and we about to make out, I'm not gonna go sleep with you if you don't want to use no protection because I know right then you really trying to kill me. You trying to kill me. That scares the shit out of me. Like, I'm not gonna sleep with you. I don't care if it's Drake, I don't give a fuck. And I can prove mine. I can prove mine. I don't care. My life is very valuable, even though I want to get out of here and escape from this whole matrix bullshit. But while I'm here, I don't want to be going through a whole lot of stuff like that. So I ain't gonna sleep with no wealthy men because they what they do is they get with these men. Oh girl, if I let him get it without protection, then he gonna give me money. That nigga ain't gonna give you no more money than the other one. And if he do give you money, it's only for a short period of time till he get tired of you like you a toy and put you up on the shelf. And you done been left. You gonna screw me out of you been sleeping with the world, and then I'm left with a disease that I can't get rid of? What the hell? That don't make no sense to me. Make that make sense. Just cause you got a name and you a famous person. Oh no. No, that ain't that's crazy. I can't get down like that.
Worse off because now you super imbalance. You know, you need a man, little hands, mouths. You need that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue. Y'all gotta stop running. You can't run from life, baby. You can't do that.
I don't care about
Some
the
people
money,
don't need to be
nothing.
doing it
The
though.
fact that you was loving me, I would do this with you. I would be with you.
Okay, y'all.
Don't ever think he nerdy like anime.
I'm about to get out of this. So I gotta talk about
$6 Popeyes Big Box.
Let's do this.
Amo el pollo de
This is needed.
Popeyes.
Because all I was gonna talk about
With
with
the
that
best Halloween decor from Michaels, we're not twinning. We're winning. Because Michaels.
What I was gonna talk about
Hey,
with that, y'all know the
apps.
presidency. What I was gonna talk about is that we already know that Donald Trump is not really running the country. We already know that. So let me go to the history. But yeah, she pretty much just got up here and they feel they made a fool out of herself, and she, they going viral talking about how hurt she was and stuff like that. Which she's saying she should have went and talked to a counselor, and that our women, we really, I say we because they look at us as one. We really don't make, and they got kids that's been taken and stuff like that, like. And her family failed her. She's still around them. They failed her because she said somebody is still around that abused her, and she got to look at them at the cookouts and the family reunions and stuff like that. So that's going on with a lot of brokenness, a lot of trauma. And I don't think it's just here. I don't think it's just here in this area. Maybe it's all over. Maybe it's all over like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad. It's a sad state, and it's a sad state. It's just sad. Like she said, sometimes you just meant. She talking about how you need to be with a man, but yeah, if you're gonna get you some, you don't need to have them around them kids. They don't deserve that because every time you go through that domestic violence and stuff like that, them kids might not be getting hit, but they saying mama go through it and get abused and treated like a dog. They witnessing it and it is affecting them. You know what I'm saying? We got to be accountable with that. It ain't about, oh, I'm gonna live my life even though this nigga left me with these kids. Then the hell with them, I'm gonna still live my life. I mean, you don't want to have to come back and pay for that. Like, think about it. If you was a bad parent, you might come back and them kids you were bad to, they might be your parent this time. That's what I be thinking about. I was like, was I ever? Because I know I try to be a pretty halfway decent mother this time, but I'd be like, was I ever an asshole like dad, or maybe I was a man, or maybe I was a bad parent or something. And my parents were my children and I threw them in a river or something. Because damn. I might have been getting it back. And because they say the people that you carnate with, your family is your karmic cycle that and that's the people that really hurt you and stuff like that. So, hey, I just be trying. I did my own life, what is it? Past life regressions the other night. And the spirit was like, don't be surprised at what you find out about yourself. Don't be surprised. I was like, okay, I hear you. So yeah, it's pretty much a sad situation. It showed the state of some of our women, and I see this a lot. Like I'm like, is there any healthy relationship? It's not encouraging me to want to be in a relationship because I be like, and then I know I wouldn't go through this stuff, but at the same time, I just like what? What- I don't I just don't I mean shoot, if I don't know how to pick, I'm gonna be to myself because I'm gonna be like, look, I ain't getting with that same type of person that I got with the last time because I know I'm still fucked up and I need to work on myself. Like I don't need to attract that no more because it calls you not only to be like mentally messed up, it calls your money, it mess up your money flow, your energy and all. It's too much work, like recovering from that karmic connection type shit. She's like, oh yeah, just you got to get out there. Man, if you know your mind ain't right, I wouldn't get out there and keep getting punched in the face. And I ain't talking about physically. I'm talking about you know your mind ain't right, so you're gonna attract a motherfucker that ain't right. It's best to go somewhere to yourself and work on yourself. That's how I feel. That's just my take on it. That's just my take on it. I'm not gonna keep um saying, well, God, I know you're gonna send me somebody today, and I know my mind ain't right, you know what I'm saying? And I need it regardless of I think what I deserve, it ain't gonna happen that fast like that. It's not. And you gotta go through some when by the time you get to meet that person, maybe it'll be in this lifetime. I ain't trying to discourage nobody. You could possibly meet them in this lifetime, but sometimes you're not even ready and they ain't even ready for you. You not ready for them and they not ready for you. Sure not. They not ready for you and you know how much play a little bit of this? Cause this is a mess. Hmm, okay. What about this? I ain't even gonna play this much of this. Oh, that's what they say. Okay. Let's add this real quick. All right. He talking about that. I didn't know it was 17 million white people that just lost their food stamps. We're gonna hear a little bit of this and move on to the other thing. Okay, come on. Yeah. You said that's why you be singing. Yeah, I don't want to be singing. Like, look, I love being in a relationship. I love the foreplay. I love making love. I love going out to dinner and cooking for somebody. And I'm even the type of person where I'll do your manicures and give you a bath. I'm very nurturing and sensual and all that. Like I done all that already. Like when I was married, I did that. I did that. Very pampering and like what they say. That's like the Asian women do. I know how to do all that. I know how to treat a man and whatever. But honey, I can't deal with that. I just see so much toxicity, and maybe it's a mirror or something to what it like. I'm like sometimes I'm here. I think I'm in. I think my energy is the balance though. Yeah, I know. The spirit done told me I was doing grid work. My time is up, and I'm gonna really enjoy myself with the next, the location that I be in. But I was doing grid work. I did a lot of healing, and it was some rough energy. This was some rough energy to transmute. I ain't gonna lie. And look, you remember what Flu Burns said about that chicken? What she said about that chicken? I think it's true because I had found some chicken on sale. A lot of chicken, like at some nice soup, like Kroger's or whatever. And it's supposed to not be hormones and the hormone free. I've been doing a lot of soups and to purge and get all my nutrients in one thing. I've been doing like the chicken. What I do, the chicken and something soup with what I put a lot of celery in it and onions and I even put some lentils in it one time, just filling it up with ginger and garlic and I did like a nice old night good soup, good soups like chicken. And I'm thinking I didn't even boil my. Did I boil my chicken? I don't know if I boiled a chicken or baked it or rotisserie it before I put. But anyway, that soup was good, and I use low sodium chicken stock. What is it? The stock, right? And then I use the bouillon, the chicken bouillon and stuff like that. And I put all the different herbs in there, and I put cumin in there because cumin and lemon juice at the end. That'll purify and cleanse out toxins out of your body and stuff like that. Then I did a beef soup. Oh my god, and I love tomato soup. That I did like a beef soup recently, and I put a lot of tomatoes, tomato sauce. I put my celery in there, my carrots, cause my baby love carrots. My son, he like the carrots, the big ones. So I put organic carrots in there, the organic celery, and it don't cost that much. Like you would think this would be expensive, but I went to the butcher. I found some uh beef at the butcher. It was already seasoned beef, and I got about 3 pounds, and it had some bones in it. But then I got the other bones, like the beef bones, so I could get the cartilage because the cartilage is good for your skin and your muscles and stuff like that. And I put the bones in there, the beef bone, and I let it. But before I put it in the pot, I went ahead and seared it in my skillet. I seared it before I put it in with went ahead and seared it on both sides. And then I put it in with the vegetables and stuff. But I put cabbage. This is like a cabbage, tomato, beef like soup. It was, and I love tomato soup. Oh my god! Put some tomatoes in there. They weren't even expensive. Some stewed tomatoes. Well, it was not even expensive in the can. And that's basically, yeah. And I put the beef stock in there. The beef stock. I only used about 3. I cooked it in my big pot. So yeah, it turned out really good. And the meat that I bought was, I did like 4 pounds. So the 4 pounds cost me like, I say it was under $30 for 4 pounds of bone in like beef. And I was just led to go to this butcher because if I would have bought it from somewhere else, of course it would have been way more, but it was a little cheaper at that butcher. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Being single is less stress. I mean, it get hard sometimes because you be like wanting some companionship, but look, I'm not about to be explaining to nobody about how I move. Like you got to go to the doctor a few times, and I got to look at your hygiene. You got to brush your teeth and stuff. Like if you like you because I mean, and when you like people don't even bathe. Like people don't even bathe right. Like when you bathe and stuff, you got to use the right type of deodorant because if you don't, you're gonna be smelling. People don't even know this stuff. Like you got to wash under your stomach and your navel, and you got to actually washing them creases. And even this gonna sound like I be teaching the kids in my family how to properly bathe. I ain't no bathing queen, but I study it. Like I be studying because my kids be like, I never smell. You know I smell. I got a rabbit nose. My nose is very sensitive. I could. That's why I really couldn't date nobody from. See, they be like American men similar to me. They mostly from the country, even if we mostly kind of similarly grew up. They know how we know how each other is. Like we kind of cook the same. And if you from another country, I gotta like reboot and reset. Like the bathing stuff ain't the same. And some of them when they like in the Islam and Muslim, they but I don't want to be beat because I ain't have my head covered. I ain't no, I'm not no. Them men, some of them, they be like, oh, I'm gonna get me. Them men, they believe they be abused. They be abused. Some of them be look. Some of them men be so abusive until I had a friend that married somebody from the Middle East. They violent in the bedroom with they women. They not. I need some. I don't like nobody. Every now and then we playing around. We can have a little rough foreplay and Mrs. Mister and Mrs. Smith, but Not all the damn time. You ain't gonna be throwing me around and hard on my Johnny, like beating the hell. No, I need some Keith Sweat, baby. Where is it? I need some Keith Sweat, R. Kelly, some 12 play. I ain't with that, all that shit. No, don't be. I'm a tenderoni. I can role play and stuff, but all that, y'all, let's look at this. But yeah, it's not easy being to yourself, but it's safer, and that's sad because most of the people that's single, some of them ain't all fucked up. Like they be like, oh yeah, you single because you can't keep me. You don't know. No, I can maintain a relationship. Like I could be in a relationship for years. I know about relationships and like how to maintain, and I know about the waves of it. Like it's gonna be some ups and downs, and you gotta kind of like last through it and not just be like, oh, he doing bad, I'm doing bad, it's time to break up. No, I know how to be in a relationship, not just get the person. I know how to maintain it, but you gotta have a strong-minded person too, because you can't be influenced. Like it's a lot, it's more distractions now than when I was married back in the day, guys. It's too much, it's so much temptation that you got to be strong now. Like for two people really to make it now, you got to be like able to like they sending frequencies and all kind of shit. It was hard back then. I can imagine how hard it is being married now. Woo, child. But yeah, look at this. Woo. I can imagine.
People are on EBT, food stamps, and that translates, into roughly about 17 million people, okay? Not 18, but 17 million white people are going to be starving.
Ironic.
Naturally, anyone reading this would be like, oh, damn, that's a lot of people who are going to be hungry. We should do something about this. You would think that would be the response. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is why I say they're cooked. And I mean this respectfully. This isn't an attack on white people. This isn't that. This is honestly, it's honestly coming from a point of sympathy. Because I constantly talk about how black people suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome. And we're seeing in present time, literally the shirt. This is the reason why I made this shirt. And it stems from the Lyndon B. Johnson quote, where he talks about, hey.
Yeah, his channel is interesting. Y'all check him out. Amazing Lucas. He talk about a lot of interesting things. I don't get into this racism and this and that, but they make black people the face of the EBT. I just want to show and prove the statistics. I even looked on ChatGPT. It says nationwide they get more. It said a percentage of like them. It says non-Hispanic white people, Caucasians, they getting it more, but they make us the face of it, like they make us the face of everything else. And that's why I put those people on that front, but they don't look like that. The people that's getting them people probably ain't even getting those. Them people probably living off the land and stuff. I don't know. Them people in the mountains, they eat off the land or whatever they can get and raise their stuff probably. But I'm just talking about the ones that we don't think that's looking all sedity. They probably if it's 47%, they getting it too. But they make us the face of the EBT. And if I can get me some, I'm gonna get me some. It ain't no pride in my. I ain't gonna let my pride keep me hungry. If I could, I'll just go and apply and see what they give me. All the taxes I don't pay, and I can't get the money from my birth certificate. You dang on right. I ain't ashamed.
Make the poorest, white person feel that they are better than the best black person. You can go in their pockets, and what is happening right now is literally that. That quote is the manifestation of what is currently we are experiencing and witnessing. Because you want to know what people were saying to other people? You had Maj Touré and other individuals who were pointing this out, that, hey, white people are going to be negatively impacted by this. You had people talking about their favorite word, per capita. Now, this is something that is mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing to me. I'm going to be honest with you. If someone were to come to me and be like, Lucas, millions of black people are going to die next Tuesday. Millions. My knee-jerk reaction wouldn't be, oh yeah? Well, what about per capita? Per capita, less black people are going to die than white people. Did you ever think about that? Are you retarded? That wouldn't be... That wouldn't be my reaction. That wouldn't be anyone with an IQ above room temperature's reaction. The only people who would react like that are those who have been
condemned. Sad. I don't rejoice at that, because it's sad that they will let their racism, this racism that's keeping them hungry, because they want. He's gonna say something else too. He's gonna talk about how they always saying that which they do abuse, the police do abuse a lot of blacks. I've seen it with my own eyes, how they be whipping up on white women, the police. Not here where I'm at now, but where I used to live. Every time you turn around, them white women be black and blue, and I be like, "What the hell happened to you?" "Oh, the police arrested me and beat me up." They be getting fucked up by the police too, but they want us to be the face of everything, okay? And a lot of this stuff that's happening is really gonna affect them and hurt them, and that's sad. I believe now it's okay. I don't disagree with some people, not at a level where they know that the Democrats and the Republicans are all bloodline family, a lot of them, and they all work in the same Game of Thrones or episodes or whatever. The city, that one city king want to take over the other one and want to be the matriarch versus the patriarch type, and not the good matriarch and not the good patriarch, the lunatics or whatever. And when I say Satanist, I'm talking about Saturn. And when I talk about the Luciferian, I'm talking about that's the feminine, the women, and the trans, the women, and that Venus, because Venus represents Lucifer. Which I ain't even gonna get into all that, but not the good matriarch and patriarch. The ones that just want to control, want to have that, they want to vent that super human intelligence to control all of us. Them people sad. Yeah, it's sad that they don't like none of them, but they really been in an illusion. They waking up now. That DEI affects most of the white teachers, mostly Asians. They don't realize that we the damn rose in the stone, yo. We done been without. Yeah, I grew up kind of like, oh, I grew up on a farm. My grandmama and them had land and da 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 da. Honey, when I got out here in this real world and I realized what the damn shit was. I don't consider myself that, but they look at me as a nigga and black too. They don't look at me as no different from then they look at the Shaniqua over there in the damn projects. I'm black. So I got my wake up call once I got out here and saw how society works. So I know what time it is. They don't realize that we know, like we done been through the shit. They done killed us before. We back. We immortal. We infinite. We know what time it is. It's not gonna be that hard for us. I don't know why we out here. Oh God, they done took our lands. They holding our wealth at the stock market. Yo, we million and trillionaires. Shit, them motherfuckers been holding our shit. What about you now? How you feel now that you on the chopping block? Which I'm not rejoicing, but hey, it's time to barbecue and shit. We know how to go and take $20, $30 and put a meal together. If they'll cut your shit off. You know how to feed them kids a healthy, decent meal, kind of cheap, and get $5 from here. $5. It's been times when they wouldn't give me stamps, and I had to pay, like, back in what year? I was living in Chapel Hill working at a hospital. My rent back then was like about over $1,000 a month for like one or two bedroom. Had a jacuzzi in there, but damn, I had to pay cable. Back then, did I have internet? Did I have internet back in there? Did I have internet? I know I had like the cable station. I had a gas bill and a freaking light bill. I had car insurance and car maintenance bills and had to buy food for kids and all this and that. It's been times when I showed them down there to the Department of Social Services, all that, and they still wouldn't give me none. But I made it some kind of way. I'm still here today. It's been times I got them, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like my mama used to say, I never got no benefit. Man, if I need something, I'm going to get it. It ain't no shame in my neck. I wish I would get up here and cry about I made a song for Chris Breezy and I got an EBT. I'm going to say that EBT card and go cook me a good meal and put together me a plan. That's what I'm gonna do. I be damn, you gonna see me. I don't been down to my last. I'm damn if I'm gonna get these people ain't your friend like that. You gonna get up here and cry and think they're gonna feel sorry for you. Yeah, they're gonna promise you they're gonna give you the $25,000 that Chris Brown did. They ain't gonna do shit. No. She better be grateful he got that EBT.
Who are foaming at the mouth with anti-black hatred. And that is what we are witnessing, fam. It is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to see white people, on the Nazi platform known as X talk about, well, per capita, more black people are on EBT. Per capita, more black people are on Snap. Once again, I don't know, for all the racist white people out there, how does per capita help Charlie Kirk? How did per capita help Charlie Kirk? Their knee-jerk reaction when Charlie Kirk was gone was to be like, well, per capita, more black people are violent. I'm just like, you just lost a very prominent white person on your side, right? You just lost one of the head leaders of the KKK, and you talking about black people. Make it make sense.
No, he didn't say that. He be talking about it's so wrong with him. He be like, it's so wrong with you. He talking about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. He did a reaction to that thing. He said, it's something wrong with these white men. And I ain't got nothing to get. Look, I ain't got nothing against these sisters dating the men dating, but honey, I done seen lately a lot of them taking these girls out. Now I seen where they take the women take the men, the black men out too, but honey, they better date. If they're gonna date, they better date something they grew up with or that they know they might be a little safer because it look like they being sacrificed or something. I don't know what the hell going on. Cause they don't even like their own women. Now I know we got some brothers that got some serious men, but they don't even like their own women like that. The only reason they put their women up above other cultures and black women is because they trying to look good as they trying to look good they don't even like their own women, much less a sister. Not all of them, because some of them passing, some of them do got good spirits. I'm talking about those certain ones, You take they women to tell you how they handle them sometimes. Huh?
Make it make sense.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Hey, Alicia Little here, and I'm excited to announce that the third annual AI.
Oh, she good. If you want to know about
AI Marketing
all
Summit
the AI
2025, stuff. And you're invited to
right
attend.
She knows
absolutely.
So when I say they are cooked, I mean they are cooked. They're deep fried. They're finito. And I'm really the only person on these YouTube streets who is really trying to lend an olive branch to these individuals to let them know, hey, you're getting got. You're getting played right now. The rich white man that y'all keep on giving your money to, he doesn't care about you. Okay? He does not give two licks about you whatsoever. The rich white people don't live around your kind. Okay? They don't see you as the same as them.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I know in your poor, trailer park mindset, you're like, well, I'm white and I'm better than the Negro over there who's driving around in the Mercedes, okay? Because I'm white and he's still just a nig in a Benz.
What? What are you talking about?
That is crazy, y'all. that is crazy, okay? I don't know how to explain this to you. How does millions of white people
Dave Chappelle tried to tell them that years ago about how that president don't care about them and they poor. And also Cardi B, her angle wasn't right. It wouldn't have mattered whether Kamala Harris was in there or Donald Trump. They both two different coins of the same. That this country still would have been. It still would have been in a mess. Neither one of them would have saved it. So they just puppets. So I don't agree with. I see what she's saying, but at the same time, she's talking about Kamala Harris would have said, no, they ain't for no people. They not for no people either. So I understand people voting because they got tired of being played by the Democrats and they wanted to give the other side a chance. I get that. So I'm not going to down them for voting. Now, if you voted for him just because of his skin color, then you had the wrong intentions. You're going to get what you asked for anyway because he really going that. They already know we not used to getting no handouts like that anyway. Like, come on. We've been going through it. It's going to affect them because they've been living in a false reality, sadly.
To be starving, how does per capita impact them? Do you think the white person who is starving with their family, and a good chunk of the white people on these benefits are elderly, right? They're elderly. And do you think they give 2 cents about a black person when their stomach is growling, when their kids are crying? Like, is that what you think? And here's the thing, maybe that is what they think, okay? Maybe that is in the.
Well, I used to be on that thing where I'd be trying to get people to go to the vote polls. You know, when I used to be when I was in the medical profession, all that, be like, y'all need to go get y'all checkups and da 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 da. And yeah, I will still sleep in or whatever, or halfway awakened. But I was like, oh, it's time to vote. I thought voting really counted. I did. I registered at 18. I would be to them polls, volunteering and telling people I ain't even gonna front. But when I realized what time it was, I don't either. The hell with it. For what? It's an energy harvesting thing. You don't vote for them. The electoral college pick them. Now we might have a little say so in putting them in there. Maybe, who knows? I think they put in there who they want at the end of the day.
These rural areas of, flyover states where a lot of these, these poor whites, which is a majority of the white population, despite what the media wants to show you, but a lot of them are very low IQ, very uneducated, white people, Trump's base.
Oh, I love that what you just said.
Maybe they are with their
they really put us the face of the yeah. You said people be dogging everybody. They just always show us on purpose. Yeah, because they want to make them feel like they safe and they entitled, and they really getting fucked over too. But they make it seem like it's just us, right? Just like with DEI, they had all these. I think they the bloodline, the lower version of the bloodline. Of the Al Sharpton and them damn boule niggas. They are all DEI. They don't affect us. Well, we ain't got no. And then people that's losing their job, we've been told them to break away from these holidays, save your money, that they were coming for y'all. They just made y'all think that y'all was okay with these degrees and all this stuff. And all these government jobs that you was safe. Come on. We've been told them. Them niggas, that's them niggas that's them city niggas that left behind the people in the. You remember, it's somebody said that. I think it might be Rod Hayes and Bobby Hemming even said that the people in the South, you could always go back to the farm and work. Even when you lose your job, you go back to the farm. We always own our home and our farms. There's no way in the world we were slaves, and when we were segregated, we were doing better than them. So that means that we always had lands and stuff like that. So you could always go back home. So they would get together and put their money together and send a smart nigga to college in the city. He forget about them. They sent him there so he could learn, the better, I guess, the technology or whatever, and help better the people in the South. He'll get in and that, when they get to that college and get in that sorority and stuff and get possessed and forget and get all into that thinking they done got in with the people, those folks. Then they forgot about where they come from. And that's where a lot of that come from. And a lot of them is going to pay for that. I ain't saying that them people done passed on, but they might be reincarnated into this group now that's realizing like, you're not one of them. Like, this was all a game. You should have kept your eye on the prize, building your own thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though they was segregating us and all that, integrating us and stuff, some of us should have kept, try to keep it going where we got our own thing going on, and I know they were breadlining us and keeping us from getting, it was hard, but we should have seen this coming. Which we know. So there's a lot of us, it ain't gonna affect us.
Something's growling, going, you know what? We're gonna starve to death, but at least we're not in Chicago with the black on black crime. It's damn, is that what's going on?
Right.
Is that what's happening?
They think
and I kid you not. As bright as the sun, fam, they are making black people the face of the EBT. And why do you think that is? Because I saw this segment on the news where it was like a black woman and a black man. They're like, hey, we need this for the family. We need this for food. And you got another black woman who's like, hey, this is going to negatively impact people.
Gonna eat.
It goes out for the single mothers that got kids. Now, what can we do? We can't feed our kids. Let alone, if we do have jobs, again, what can we do? Because that was helping us.
It would make us, people like myself and other individuals, have to make that hard choice. Are we going to put food on the table or have proper health care?
Listen, white people, not the smart white people. Y'all get out of here. The dumb white people, the white ignorants, as I refer to y'all. Come here. Why do you think they have a black person, all right, as the face of this?
Tell them.
Why do you think that is? I know per capita, I get that. But why do you think that is? Do you think it's maybe because it makes it easier for them to screw you over? If you're so focused on Shaniqua, right, and the well stamp, the food stamp queens, okay, the black women, the food stamp queens, okay, that's all they do. They just getting food stamps. Do you think it makes it a little, I guess, more palatable for you to be suffering? Is that? Do you think has that ever popped in your head, or are you really straight up Neanderthal mindset of?
Yeah, I mean, good statement. It's nothing but the truth. Welfare was created for them back in the 1930s because they weren't doing as well as black people. Black people was making it on their own. That's what I'm saying. I don't get that. Like, why are they acting like it was created for us? They always benefited from welfare in general. The government helped them take our stuff. They always had welfare. The farmers always had welfare. You know what my family member said? He said, you know what? I believe that they helped them get these houses and stuff. They ain't paying their rent. They got something like a voucher, but it's like Section 8, but it's a Section 8 for them. And I believe that too. I believe they get a stipend for these. I believe it too. Yes. We be, we get a voucher or something. Our people, they got us living in certain little raggedy, not even raggedy, but they might let you get a house or something like that, but it ain't gonna be like what they let them get. Yeah, they don't call it though. They're not gonna call. They're gonna give it another name. They're gonna give it another type of name. Sure is. I believe it because they can't make it without help. They tell us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, and we do. But they can't pull themselves up when they got straps. I mean, I'm just thinking because these people, they live in an illusion.
Black person bad, white person good. Is that? I don't know, man. I mean, maybe do I have to put rocks together to communicate with some of y'all? Like, please, how do I reach these kids? Someone tell me. How do I communicate, bro? Do I have to go into like native caveman ooga booga language?
Wake up call when you realize that you ain't the hot stuff that you thought you was. It's got to be tough to realize like these people was here before us. They created us, and also without them we would be nothing. They invented everything. They've been making it without we done had all this help, and we done been ahead of them people. Them people still all right. They still got, even though they got some issues, they still can. They that strong. Like that's got to be one hell of a wake up call. And they don't put them in. Look, they done manufactured these books to write their lies and their history and all that. It's a sad day. Keep your head on a swivel.
Right? Hieroglyphics? Something. Tell me.
Sad.
If you don't understand the rules of power, you are just someone who does.
I can be light or I can be dark. I'm not gonna walk around with fear because, come on, our ancestors and we don't be here.
The country is being destroyed due to your racism. Do you understand that? These people would be happy with the country, going to nuclear war and be like, well, black on black crime in Chicago. I'm like, there's a nuke. Do you not see the nuke in the sky? You talking about black on black crime in Chicago?
Pathetic.
So when I say that they're cooked, they're cooked. They are filet mignon cooked, right? They done. I bring up police brutality incidents. I have, on my channel, I've covered white people who have been brutalized by police. Do you know when it comes to raw numbers, white people are more brutalized than black people, right? Now, we obviously can go into per capita and be like, well, black people per capita are more brutalized. But I'm like, you would think that white people would be like, well, hey, we're getting killed and brutalized by police at crazy numbers. But they don't care. They don't care. You bring up a white person being killed, they don't want to hear about it. You bring up a black person being killed, they get their popcorn out. Oh yeah. You know what? If he had just complied, none of this would have happened. And I'm just like,
and
they have so conditioned obsessed. White people to not care about.
They're so obsessed with us. That's sad how obsessed with us they are. I mean, that's really sad. It's sad. You hear them up here all the time. They look at that man, that Nick Fuentes, and then the one that passed away, how they talk. Why don't you talk about yourself and all the stuff y'all done did? Why don't you talk about yourself? Stop. We don't want to be bothered. We do not want to be bothered. We tired. We just want you to keep our freaking names out and leave us alone. We don't mind. I don't mind being to myself and segregated and all that. Just leave me the hell alone. And you see that black man that's building that city in that city near Dallas. They's trying to stop him. He got his own city. He said it's only black people he want. They don't put a restraining order against that man. Y'all see that, right? Go look that up. How they messing with that man. They don't want to be around you, but they don't want you to build your own. Trying to stop him now from building his city and stuff. He building it, but they trying to put a restraint because he said he wanted somebody. They don't need to have their own. He ain't even saying nothing about no school. They don't need to have their own school. Worrying about a nigga. But they hate they and they got a little money. These people got a little money. They got a little money, honey. They got a little money. Okay. And this is who is really the shadow president that's really running this country. This is gonna be the last one. All right. Okay, let me pause. Okay. He is breaking it down. This is going
Taylor Green. It also appears him. So we'll dive into that and all the damage that he's doing. We'll also talk about a MAGA civil war that has erupted. You have Ben Shapiro berating Alex Jones and Marjorie Taylor Greene. It also appears like he's not too happy with his own, I guess you could say, co-hosts or people who work on the Daily Wire, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles. They're sort of flirting with Fuentesism. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, Cabbage Patch Children and them orphan trains. If you go back and look, that's amazing that you would say that, Ultra Instinct. So you know that holiday we just celebrated, Labor Day. You know what that holiday is based off of? All them children, white slaves, Caucasian slaves that they freed, and that's what the slavery was about with Abraham Lincoln. They were considered the black. They owned nothing. They switched it around and put it on us, but they were actually the slaves, and they was owned by the South. Though it was them, because when that was what that Labor Day was about. Them orphan trains and stuff that came with all them kids, them Cabbage Patch Kids. Remember, I don't know, back in the day, if you old enough, you remember your grandma might have talked about it, or you remember how they used to talk about that bird with them kids dropping them babies off with the bird, the bird, like the bird had the male hat on and had them babies in their mouth, just drop them off at them people door. They were growing babies in cabbage patches and incubators and stuff. The mud flood people, and then they would take them into these abandoned buildings when they brought them here and tell them that we took their land. And we was the people helping them and stuff like that. Like it took a long time for them to be able to. The Moors, the one helped them walk upright and help them, look like they look now, because they say they mix with the different, species and stuff like that. So, and they say some of us created them. So you know what I'm saying. Then what made the Moorish temple fall, they said, was when they started having the babies with them, and the kids saw that their mothers couldn't rise up to nobility, and they turned against their fathers, those biracial children. But then I'm talking about when they brought them here, they had them kids and working in them mills, them little hands and stuff like that, getting crushed up, and them little children, they were using them for sex. They always trafficked to humans and whatever they made them and created. Our people. I ain't saying it was the people that looked like us doing all this scientific cloning and creating people now. These were melanated people that had all that science, okay? So I don't think it was right. I think they mad about how they was created too. Some of them know what time it is. Yeah. Cause you know that comedian, Seinfeld. It might be Seinfeld. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. He said his parents was didn't have no parents. They was grown in a incubator or something. Some of them know where they come from. You did a few videos. I think I seen them, but I'm gonna look at them again. Yeah. Yeah, you did a few videos. I think I seen your video. Yeah, you sure did. Yeah, and it was a good video. People recently when I was in North Carolina. Well, I didn't see none when I was there last year, but when I was there a few years ago, it was a bunch of white people that didn't know their parents. Like all the poor white people that I knew, they did not know their parents. They didn't know where their parents was or where they come from, and they didn't know how to bathe or none of that. Like one of them, they put him on this job, and I had to train him, and I'm like, look, where am I at? Oh, they put him on this job. And I had to train him. And I told my boss, I'm like, look, I don't know what kind of inbred mess y'all got going. I'm honest. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it because it was a lot of germs and stuff that was going. I'm not gonna get sick behind no job. I'm like, I'm gonna ease on out of this because you need to come do this because you can't teach nobody how to be clean. And it's certain things you got to do in this field, and you ain't got it. You just ain't got it. It ain't nothing. It go back to your raising. Like I feel sorry for the lady because I don't think she had no parents, and she probably didn't. You know, when you don't have no mother, and this is sad. You don't properly know how to do certain things, but I can only do but so much. I can't like she gonna get offended if I'm telling her like certain things. It's gonna be offensive because you don't have that in your mindset or your psyche to know that that's not clean. And she gonna think I'm picking on her. So I'm like, I can't do it, bro. Like, you gonna have to get somebody else. This above my pay grade. Because some of the things I seen, it was amazing. Like, you coming to work and you got bed bugs and stuff. No, fuck no, bro. No, I ain't. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'll see you. I mean, everybody can have them. That don't mean you dirty. You can get them from anywhere. Like they do hard to get rid of, but I am allergic to them things. I done had an allergic reaction years ago. Not that I had them. I was staying at a hotel and then I got attacked and I had a bad. I'm gone with that. No, I'm out. See you.
Later on, we have Fuentes is back to glazing Trump after spending months acting like he was going to criticize him all the time. We have Bill Maher and Stephen A. Smith sucking rancid ass together. That's horrible. And then Joe Rogan's
they definitely are the real immigrants. That's why they help foreigners, because they know they don't supposed to fucking be here. They try to tell everybody else who's supposed to be here. They the real. That's right. Exactly right. Ultra instinct. They the real one. Real immigrant. Right. Sad.
Democrat derangement syndrome is completely and utterly out of control. And there is this amazing video of this black woman scolding the ICE Gestapo criminals to their face. And that is, I want that video to go viral because man, oh man, is that special. This woman has some fucking stones, y'all. Holy shit. She puts them in their place. All right, so you guys know the drill. Everybody, please do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. You could also support the show on Patreon if you're so inclined, or tip with that thanks button on YouTube. You could also support Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. And go subscribe, of course, to the Corn's World YouTube channel where we do live Kyle and Corn episodes every Monday at 8:30. All right, guys, let's dive into it. So
this is the Kyle Kalinske show. He talks a lot about what's going on and stuff like that. I ain't saying I agree with all that he's saying, but he's telling you who the shadow president, who got that damn, who wrote majority of that damn agenda 2025, and that's how he was able to just 30 days, y'all. This some people saying he cutting all this stuff off because of my immigrants and all. They can't blame all this stuff on the immigrants because the other side let them people in. It ain't the immigrants' fault that they told them to come in here.
ProPublica did a bunch of research on this guy by the name of Russ Vought. Russ Vought is the current head of OMB, the Office of Management and Budget, and that position is incredibly powerful. Now, it just so happens that Russ Vought is also a complete and utter psychopath. So let's watch their breakdown. This is Trump's shadow president, Russ Vought.
This is the most important person in the Trump administration that you've probably never heard of.
Oh, here we go.
I gotta mute it because I don't want to get copyright right on that. It's the Reaper. Like Russ Vought is the Reaper. Trump posted that.
Russell Vought, director of the office.
I tell people when Russ Vought speaks, it's like a papal bull. You should pay attention.
He's more than just Donald Trump's budget guru. He has two very clear goals: to make the presidency as powerful as it's ever been, and to dismantle as much of the federal bureaucracy as he can. People have referred to him as the shadow president. I'm Andy Kroll. I'm an investigative reporter for ProPublica. I've been covering politics and government in Washington for almost 16 years. I had heard the name Russ Vought, but he was always just slightly outside the field of vision. And then I got my hands on this video.
We want the bureaucrats to be traumatically affected. When they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work.
Holy shit. There are, what, over 1 million government workers like this. He wants them to be traumatic and not want to show up to work. He's part of the Curtis Yarvin School of Thought. Rage, retire all government employees. He wants the dark enlightenment is what he wants. It's going to get worse. Wait for it.
To traumatize federal workers.
You want to put them in trauma.
That just planted this seed in my mind that I had to try to figure out who this person is. He declined my request for an interview, so I set out to talk to everyone I possibly could, and watch every video, listen to every podcast. I obtained hours of briefings to his supporters that had never been published before.
America has experienced nothing short of a quiet revolution. We know the CRT and the transgender sewage that's being pumped into our schools and institutions. A border invasion furthering, quite frankly, a reverse colonization. We're actually trying to save the country.
Those recordings really helped me understand his evolution from this numbers wonk to a full-fledged leader of the MAGA movement.
One of the key authors of Project 2025, Russell Vought, told the reporters that Trump would deploy the military to silence the unrest.
I think you have to rehabilitate Christian nationalism. You have the largest deportation in history.
He said you have to rehabilitate Christian nationalism, and we want the largest deportation in history.
Funding for Planned Parenthood. I want to be the person who crushes the deep state.
Yeah, I called for trauma within the bureaucracies. The bureaucracies hate the American people.
He really has a vision to change the direction of American history.
We must do our duty for the course of this country, quite frankly, for the course of Western civilization, and for the course of history.
Vought has always seen himself as a blue-collar political outsider, even though he spent basically his entire adult life here in Washington. The first job that seems to have left a real mark on him, and it did leave a serious impact.
Listen to this.
Was when he got a job working in the mailroom of a senator from Texas named Phil Gramm.
This is a collage of political giveaways. I am not going to spend more money we don't have on programs we can't afford.
Phil Gramm was the ultimate budget hawk. He was sort of half-jokingly referred to as the most hated man in Washington.
Our problem really comes down to the political power of the public employee labor union.
He was willing to make enemies not just of Democrats, but of Republicans as well. And that really gives you an insight into Russ Vought. When he was inside the legislative branch, he finds himself battling far more with fellow Republicans who, in his view, are not living up to the principles of what it means to be a conservative. He grows so disillusioned that he leaves.
After 12 years on Capitol Hill, I was often frustrated by why more members of Congress simply didn't do the right thing. Most of them spend too much time listening to the loud vocal groups in their district clamoring for more.
He goes to this new upstart group called Heritage Action, the quote-unquote new fangs of an old beast, which is the Heritage Foundation, the sort of long-standing conservative think tank. And he becomes basically the chief antagonist of his own party.
Let's give him a warm welcome, Russ Vought. We believe that every member of Congress needs congressional accountability, whether they're the best or the worst member of Congress.
You should not fund and pay for Obamacare.
Hurting the American economy.
Fund government, but not Obamacare.
At midnight last night, for the first time in 17 years, Republicans in Congress chose to shut down the federal government.
He is very much a creature of the swamp, someone who knows the federal budget inside and out. He has really passionate feelings about the House Rules Committee, yet he comes around to this.
Oh, that's the budget man. He know the money thing inside and out. And he is not to be, they say he cannot be swayed. That's the one that's really done writing up all them what you call it, those things, those laws and those things that Donald Trump has passed his first 30 days in there, and he do it so smooth. That's why I put cold, smooth, and what is it? Something as hell. Cause he do it so fast, nobody get. They like in shock. Cause he got it. That's how he planned it out. That's how he planned it out. Because he know the budget inside and out. So it's
notion that we need to stir people at the grassroots and make that change flow up.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
You've just survived
Thank
a
you,
violent
Audrey.
crash with an 18-wheeler, and the truck driver says you're at
executive. Them
what if there's
executive orders is hell. Remember them first 30 days in there? Because this mug been under that still.
Opportunity for paradigm shifting work.
The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action.
There was a scramble to try to get people to go into these key jobs, and getting people to go to the Office of Management and Budget is a crucial role. A lot of what they're doing right now at such a rapid clip, they tried to do during Trump's first administration. Every dollar that Congress approves to fund the government, OMB controls the flow of that money. If you were to pick the one place in the federal government to go where you could put a kink in the hose and bring everything to a stop, OMB is basically the only place where you could do that. But
and by the way, if you stop and think about it, a lot of the Doge stuff had to do with OMB. It's that Doge mindset of like, let's just start cutting absolutely everything in sight. And the courts are going to try to stop us, but fuck the courts. We'll ignore them however we can, which is how you get a situation where Trump and MAGA and Elon Musk and Russ Vought, they cut pediatric cancer research and the National Weather Service and Meals on Wheels and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the nuclear safety officials and FEMA.
CFPB, that's the place that's done got Americans billions of dollars back. That's shut down part of that. I think they vetoed it and went past it, but it's still sections that shut down. And I called that number today to make the scammers and the spam calls stop. Don't you know that's closed because of this government shutdown? So them people got free willy to call you and harass you and try to get your voice to get into your accounts and all that shit. It's just crazy. Yeah, so this is that's
cut the Department of Education, and they closed half the Social Security offices, and they fired 250,000 public workers.
Now some of this stuff need to be cut down and it need to be looked at, but they're doing a clean slate. Hey, I'm just gonna sit back with my popcorn and watch and try to build my own and become we gotta become independent of this government as much as we possibly can. It look like, because I hope they're not trying to take the feds and the state, because somebody said that the feds is connected to our water and our electricity in the state. That you got to know how to self-govern, because you don't know how to self-govern. Then I think that's to do with the police and all that stuff, because we say we want to be like govern our own communities, but imagine this place without we don't have our own police and military and security and stuff. So I don't know.
They cut the food safety inspectors and air traffic controllers and scientific research and medical research and USAID. They did all of that shit. And a lot of it is because they have these fucking psychotic anarcho-capitalist pirates who are now staffed at the Treasury, at Office of Management and Budget. And Russ Vought is the head of the snake.
Congress has the power of the purse. And there is even a law that says the president cannot, quote unquote, impound, to use the legal jargon.
That's right. What
cannot
if they
freeze lawfully.
Right. They're not going to be. They're not going to go without money.
The White House disagrees.
They're going to make it. They're going to cut the stuff to hurt the regular people, but they're not getting their stuff cut though. That's the thing. While they cutting, they collecting and making more money and getting endorsements and stuff like that. Ain't that something? They're not suffering. Somebody said they're gonna have them a nice Thanksgiving, while all the people, and mostly they people that look like them that they done told had a privilege, gonna not be able to buy their turkey to celebrate their fake holiday.
Did in this case with Ukraine.
Democrats tonight are seizing on newly unredacted documents about what's at the heart of the president's impeachment, that freeze on military aid to Ukraine.
In 2019, the message comes down from the White House to the Office of Management and Budget that we want to freeze more than $200 million of money that was going to go to Ukraine in the form of security assistance.
The bureaucracy was literally just ignoring it. And quite frankly, his political appointees like John Bolton were ignoring him as well.
In Vought's eyes, this was a deep state insubordination, a rebellion by employees who weren't on board with the president.
and we cut the money off, and it was like all hell broke loose with
Yeah, because that was illegal. That's why all hell broke loose. What you did was illegal, Russ.
in the bureaucracy.
We got impeached, yeah.
And so
Resolution impeaching Donald John Trump.
Impeaching Donald John Trump, president.
Don't get me wrong, them Democrats were doing a lot of bullshit too now. So I can't say, well, I don't understand why they cutting, but it's just a mess all the way around. I don't trust either side. I think they the same face of a different coin. I mean, really, they not for us. I know that. They not for us.
States for high crimes and misdemeanors.
Vogt has repeatedly said that they didn't break the law, even though this government watchdog said that they did. But really, he sees this as a kind of first test moment in a strategy that he believes actually the president should use, and should use far more often and aggressively than even in the case of the Ukraine money. It's July of 2020, and Vogt is sworn in as the director.
we had 6 months to go, and the president said, Russ, we need another term. We're just figuring this out.
In the final weeks of the administration, Trump is constantly talking about how the election is fraudulent. This, of course, culminates in January 6th. There is an exodus of senior people in the Trump administration. Russ Vogt is not a part of that exodus. He stands by Trump. And last day, Vogt tells him that
Guest has launched a new think tank and advocacy group to advance former President Trump.
Former Office Management and Budget Director and the President of the Center for Renewing America. Russ, thank you for joining me.
when Vogt looks out at the state of the country, he sees quite a darkened landscape.
The AI has been weaponized. Critical race theory is state-sanctioned racism. What they're doing in their schools and pushing gender-affirming care is chemical castration.
In 2022, his organization, Center for Renewing America, hosts this gala at, of course, Mar-a-Lago. President Trump is there, giving Vogt's operation his imprimatur in media appearances, in briefing calls with his supporters. Vogt is very vocal in a way that he just wasn't at any point earlier in his career about what he sees as being wrong with America.
So we believe that we have become too secular, not just overall in the country, but on the right. Our elites have lost the consensus that we're a Judeo-Christian people.
And so this new project is not only about taking on critical race theory or...
He said they lost not only the conservativeness, but Judeo-Christian nation.
Raising awareness among the grassroots about the weaponization of government. But he's also seeding this deeper notion that America is basically losing sight of what it actually was meant to be.
I have no problem if it's properly understood when someone calls me a Christian nationalist. I reject when they're trying to use a dog whistle, when they're trying to say it's a fascist and all that nonsense. But should we lean into this?
Unlike most pejoratives, we are people who believe that we have a Christian nation. Right now, churches have all of this talk about love your neighbor, and they don't have any ability to say, no, we do not want that group of refuge coming from that country that is dominated by Sharia law. We don't want.
He takes his vision, his plan, his ideas straight to the grassroots.
Honor all the work that Russell Vogt has been doing. Those Thursday calls, I look forward to every week.
He has this weekly briefing call with anyone who is a supporter who wants to tune in.
We have largely failed to turn back the overwhelming tide of government.
These recordings really give you a view of the way he thinks about strategy.
So when you're watching television, the words woke and weaponized come out of a politician's mouth.
Oh, they said he started that woke stuff.
That's coming in from this call, that's coming from the strategies that we're putting out and trying to shape the narrative.
He had success getting these ideas into the...
And he know how to go to the grassroots and get them brainwashed. He got them saying that woke shit. I think that's talking about mostly us. When they say woke, they got that from us. Yeah, it's good that when they get together and celebrate out of love and togetherness and all that, though. Ain't nothing wrong with getting together and stuff like that. But to be obsessed with these holidays now, and you know what they derive from our demise and stuff, it is crazy. Oh yeah, I like what you said. You said Christian nationalist, aka daggone right, they kick. Daggone right, Klan. Daggone right, you said it. Yeah, and that's their little cold word when they say Christian nationalist. Christian nationalist mean I can go to church on Sundays and praise God and hate other races of people like black people and other cultures. And I feel like that God chose me in the Bible because he cursed the ones with the dark. Man, if you don't get out here, I'm not cursed. Y'all the ones been looking for taking people lands. And look, anytime I read that, I knew something was wrong. When you got to go and take people land and kill them and all this and that and take the spoil, then that God you serve, 1 minute he cool with you, the next minute he ain't. He telling you to kill the women in the church. That was not us, baby. That was not us. I don't know why these people, I'm not signing on to nobody else bullshit. They cursing. I was always here in the Americas. You know, if you want to talk about, you know, this lifetime, I was here. My ancestors were here. We had our land. I'm not roaming around looking for no land. I got land. They stole my shit. They did that shit, came and took our shit and said, you bow down to my God or you serve my God or y'all gonna die. And anything that y'all worshiping other than God, we demonize it. We gonna kill y'all. Y'all worship our God. Are you going? They did that to us. Took our shit. Out for lies and fraud. Out for the doctor. Get out of here. That ain't no look. I don't co-sign to that damn Enlil, Moloch, Inky, Jehovah stuff. That's y'all shit. Okay. No. No thank you. Y'all, if the niggas want to sign up for it, that's them.
Crooked Joe's DOJ is woke and weaponized.
Woke and weaponized bureaucrats at the department.
This woke and weaponized government has to be defanged.
Look at how they're all total bots, bro. They're all bots on the right. Like they get their fucking marching orders and they're just
a lot of our people
sir, yes,
sign
sir.
up to that curse. They sign up to Esau and Jacob. Man, you know Jacob was Jacob. That was Jacob. That wasn't right to take nobody birthright and do no shit. How Esau the bad guy when he was about dead and hungry and he wanted and they tricked mama tricked him. And I'm sure the man was laying there knew that want that damn boy. That's wrong as hell. I ain't gonna never think that. How you gonna convince me to think that's right? That man stole that man birthright. And these people actually somehow, well, he the bad one, his son was never wrong. They were evil people. I'm starting to look at Esau like, man, that does not mean he won't no white people back then, y'all. That means he was light skinned, maybe red hair or red, brown skin. I know my skin, when I get excited, I look kind of reddish. That won't no black, it won't no black people. Now they ain't even talking about an exact story of that. They talking about how I think they talking about how they it's either about how the patriarch took the matriarch down or how they stole our lands and all that kind of stuff. It ain't got nothing to do with no woman carrying no white child and no black child. And if the motherfucker was in the wrong, it's the motherfucker that stole the birthright. And what's this about? That white people took that. Of course, I would take that story on if I know I would create a law. I've only been here a couple of 100 years, and I can place myself in a black woman. Okay, I'm done. They won't even hear then. They wasn't here.
Whatever you say, sir. There's not independent thought, right? This is just like, shit. I'm in a cult, and I will do whatever the cult masters say.
Yeah,
in this case, Trump,
Stephen, look like us. They might not have been our blood, but they was somewhere along the lines of looking like us, doing all that evil shit. The Romans was melanated. Them Dravidians was melanated. Them people in Greece was melanated. It was all melanated people back then. We created them folks, or the evil somebody Moors or somebody created them. I ain't gonna say we didn't, but they said we created them to use them against each other or whatever. If they look white back then, they were passing. It won't no Caucasian back then. They didn't be here that long. They the puppets, so you can that.
Miller, Russ Vaught, these are the people who are the cult leaders.
There's a moment in one of these tapes at this annual confab. It was actually
doing a lot of
speech
stuff
given by Steve Bannon.
Right.
And I realize but he's an instrument of the Lord. He's an instrument of the Lord for his vengeance. Okay.
We think about Bannon and Vogt as surrogates of Trump.
Of the Lord.
When you hear Bannon describe Trump as the instrument of God, you start to think that maybe it's the other way around. that Trump is an instrument that Vogt uses, that Bannon uses, or in their view, that the Almighty uses toward this longer term agenda.
The stark reality in America is that we are in the late stages of a complete Marxist takeover of the country. We are here in the year of 2024, a year that very well, and I believe it will, rival 1776 and 1860. And guess what? We have in Donald Trump a man who is so uniquely positioned to serve this role, a man whose own interests perfectly align with the interests of the country. That is nothing more than a gift of God.
The plans are already underway to ensure that if Donald Trump wins, all of the chaos and dysfunction and lack of preparation that hampered his first administration will not hamper his second. Vogt is absolutely at the center of these efforts.
The majority of my time right now is being spent chairing the transition portion of the Project 2025. We have detailed agency plans. We are writing the actual executive orders. I don't want President Trump having to lose a moment of time having fights in the Oval Office about whether something is legal or doable or moral.
Jesus Christ, what a quote that is. I don't want Trump wasting time in the Oval Office debating if something is legal or doable or moral.
This election will have been for nothing.
The golden age of America begins right now.
In an arena with a stack of executive orders. And he sets in motion just an absolute blizzard in the executive branch. Vogt comes back into the same role, picking up right where he left off.
The president ran on the notion that the Impoundment Control Act is unconstitutional. I agree with that.
So it is the law of the land. I don't care what the president said when he was running. It is the law of the land.
He and his team played a key role in firing government workers, slashing budgets to the bone.
Rescind $1.1 billion in funding to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, $8.3 billion in funding for the State Department.
He held up billions in funding for Head Start, after-school programs, energy assistance for low-income households, research at the National Institutes of Health. One of the colleagues at his think tank, Elon Musk, was taking direction from Russ.
One right there. Elon Musk was taking directions from Russ Vought. Holy shit. So then he's responsible for all the Doge stuff.
Chains off all bureaucracy. Chains off.
There was some friction, but then there were other examples where it seemed that Vogt and Doge were working hand in glove. And when they did, they could be brutally efficient. The clearest example of this is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
We virtually shut down the out-of-control CFPB, escorting radical left bureaucrats out of the building and locking the doors behind them.
Because what they're talking about is probably one of the best, if not the single best government agency that we have that makes sure you don't get ripped off by big banks and big financial institutions.
Right.
They've returned over $12 billion to Americans who were defrauded by credit card companies, big banks, etc., and they shut it down. So they're working on behalf of the corporations. They're working on behalf of the billionaires and the criminals against the American people.
Vogt was put in charge of it by Trump.
So
he
when I looked it up,
Doge operatives
and went past it, but still certain segments is shut down though, and the CFPB is helping the consumers. What?
Get access to data at the same time that Vogt himself was shutting down the headquarters and stopping all work. This status.
5:03 this morning, day 2 of the federal government shutdown, and right now Congress remains deadlocked.
We should not bend it all on a CR because then we've given the heroin addict a taste of heroin again. Have we not, Russ?
I don't think anyone should be afraid of a government shutdown.
You know Russell Vought, he's a serious person, very serious person, and he's sitting there and he's getting ready to cut things.
Russ Vought, the OMB director, has been dreaming about this moment, preparing this moment since puberty.
Russ Vought, who has posted on X just a short time ago, the RIFs have begun. RIF, R-I-F, stands for reduction in force.
No matter the attacks, the slander, the legal bills, the ended relationships.
In Russ Vought, the cultural battles and the fiscal battles have been brought together.
So plan and act accordingly, give freely, pray continuously, but come what may, fight.
And you're seeing that play out day by day right now in the second Trump administration. It's hard to think of a White House that has so pushed the bounds on what the president can do.
They've never seen anything like what's happened in the last.
It's setting up what I think is going to be a pretty dramatic clash, not only between the White House and Congress, but ultimately a fight that's going to play out in the courts, and one that will determine how powerful the president really is.
We will make our country greater, stronger, more united, and more faithful than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Make lunch with me while I tell you all the things I do not do with my money and why you might be struggling because of that. The first thing that shocks a lot.
That's the end of that. Okay, y'all. Y'all see who the shadow president, Russell Vought, following that senator in Texas that wouldn't spend no money on none that everybody hated. And he the budget man, and that's who they following. They said even the cyborg was following Elon. Yeah, it's crazy, man. So I think we talked about everything. We talked about the shuttle and Saturn. They following Saturn. They hijacked this matrix or whatever. We need to be trying to heal, go within, look at Brother Panic and ISIS thesis, study that, and figure out how to meditate more so we can figure out how to get to that polarity so we can get out of here. Because it ain't going to, because the dying is just the beginning. You got to know how to get out of this matrix. Even when you die, you got to shift your consciousness to Polaris, to that North Star. And then they say, Brother Panic was saying meditation. Before you go to sleep, then you fall off, you meditating. You working on holding yourself accountable, going within, healing, doing your shadow work. Even meditate and try to do your past life regression so you clear up your shit. I'm trying to clear up all my stuff. When I say light as a feather, that means not too attached and not having nothing weighing me down. Light as a feather. That's what that means. So you can, travel up on out. You want to go to create your own galaxies and planets and all that shit. You don't want to come back. Ain't no telling I don't want to come back through no womb here. I don't know what I don't know what I might come. I might be in an incubator. I don't want to come back. I don't. I want that. Look, that's why I know this is going on, but I know it's over. The battle is won. Now we gotta shift it with I get 3-eye atlas or whatever. I think the consciousness is gonna be even more expanded, where we're gonna be even more we can be even more awakened and stuff like that. But it can be a good thing or a bad thing. Either you're gonna create your heaven or create your hell. I know recently I was going into some depression. I had to snap out of that because I was like, I don't know if it was that chicken that I was making them soups out of. Cause like Flu Burn said, she said during this time of year, this harvest sacrifice season, they put all their demons in the chickens and stuff. And them chickens was hormone free and all that, but it was mighty cheap. And I was making some soups out of them. I was feeling like, and it could be the retrogrades and stuff too. Cause see this energy now with this Saturn retrograding in Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, and that's got to do with Neptune. Then we got a Mercury retrograde. You're gonna be going back and seeing, over stuff that you don't see if you pass these tests and reminded of things from the past. And also, and with Saturn being in Pisces and that planet Neptune, it's gonna test you to see, are you really who you say you are? You gonna walk it like you're gonna talk, or you gonna meal do a barbecue? I'm trying to walk it like I talk it. I ain't, what I'm saying? I ain't saying I'm perfect, but I'm trying to put, it's time for action now. We done studied all this knowledge up here. It's so confusing. You be trying to decipher to see who you listening to and stuff. And I be asking my highest source, higher self, to lead me to the right information. And I don't want to get overloaded. I want to be able to use it. I've been learning that I'm having to face things, and I've been facing a lot of Saturn. Saturn is a trip. It's like a strict father, but it seemed like they done been hijacked. Saturn, he be abusing us. Well, I done had enough Saturn, Mars energy. I'm trying to go to my Venus line, honey, my Venus and my Jupiter and my love and artistry and beauty. And yeah, I'm getting into that. It's been a tough Saturn Mars ride for me. And it's things I needed, because had I looked at my what is it, autocardiology? I know the name, but tell me again, ultra instinct. But had I looked at, look, I'm gonna go look at. If had I looked at it, I wouldn't even came where I came at. But I needed it. I needed to do some grid work, and I needed to do some facing some fears, and facing myself, my biggest friend, my best friend, and my worst enemy. I needed to face myself. Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. I've been realizing, like, things that used to bother me and stuff, it don't even bother me no more. Like, cause I got some peace from within. I'm going within and stuff like that, and mirroring myself and saying, why this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? And working on fixing and healing myself. Thank you. I don't know why I'm having a tough time with that word tonight. Astrocartography. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm trying to do my work on myself and hold myself and figure out like what I need to clear up, what I need to let go of, and what direction I need to go in, and not getting too attached going from the material, which is past life Taurus for me, and then the North Node is Scorpio. That means going from the material to the spiritual. And I've been, like I said, I've been working on that. I'm a work in progress. I don't have time to be judging nobody else and work. Just like I said, I take them celebrities and I reflect on myself and see if there's anything in me that's reflecting of that, that I need to heal and get past and stuff like that. So, my ego and thinking it's been times we always thought we were better than the next one. We won't get this man to do what we wanted him to do and this and that, and then realize we all one. We all are one. We ain't no better than the next one or whatever. Even if the one looked better than the other or whatever, we all one. And that we have to learn we can't get along with everybody. Everybody ain't gonna be in your tribe, but you want to have good intentions because you want to clear up whatever stuff you got going on with these people and stuff like that. Even if you can't be around them, you want to heal and forgive yourself and forgive them, even if you can't deal with it no more because they still in their toxicity. Light as a feather, working on looking at, when you leave here. That's what our ancestors, the ancients, the pyramids, the hieroglyphs was all about. Even all the other religions and the other texts and the symbols and stuff, they did not tell us how to get this land back. They did not tell us how to get our castles back. They did not tell us where the gold was buried. They did not tell us how to be trillionaires again. They was trying to tell us to get the hell out of here and don't come back. That's what they was telling us. Leave. Get out. Like that movie. Get out. Always more to work to. It is. It's a lot of work. Always more work to do. Yeah, I'm grounding. I done got tired of doing a certain type of you know what I did? I started that Tai Chi walking as hard as hell. Man, I felt my whole body. It looked like I'm moving slow, but that Tai Chi, go on YouTube and look up how the Tai Chi walk. It work your whole body. And I probably do some tonight. I probably will do some Tai Chi walking tonight. Yeah. But it's yeah, I'm doing more different breathing exercises and releasing things and doing my Tai Chi, Qigong and Qigong. That's when you beating on your and you breathing and then you shaking it, yeah. So yeah, look it up. Tai Chi, Qigong, breathing exercises, grounding and stretching and yoga. Do a little something to get that energy. You got to get that energy out of your body. You got to, even if you lifting weights and stuff, even massaging yourself. If you ain't got nobody to massage you, massaging yourself, loving yourself, self-care, being easy on yourself too. Not being hard on yourself. Cause this some rough energy that we dealing with. This some rough you're gonna either be in heaven or hell. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You want to be happy. You want to be happy and content. Like, even though things could be worse, they could be better. You want to find some type of joy, or some type of joy that's healthy, not something that's gonna take you all off into your lower self and low vibration. But you wanna find some joy and something and some pleasure and something that's healthy and balanced and then that sacral chakra. What is it? Sacral chakra. You want to have a healthy sacral chakra where you won't be where you will be able to enjoy pleasure. Healing that sacral chakra. You can rub it. That's what under your stomach. You can rub on it and then meditate and telling yourself that you are enough and you love yourself and you good to go. Looking in that mirror and accepting yourself and saying you are enough. And then that block root shot that block solar plexus where you either over controlling or you either letting people just get it in on you. You want to have a balanced sacral chakra too, a solar plexus. Yeah, when you like I can speak my voice. If you got an underactive one, if you too controlling, you're gonna like I don't have to control people. I can be soft and love and have balance and stuff. You gotta look it up, the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. Know those chakras and stuff like that, the heart chakra and all that. Learn the Vedic saying of it too. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, learn the Vedic. I'm learning how to say it in the Vedic Indian, how they say it, that pronunciation, even the Vedic chart. Yeah. And just love on yourself. Yeah, I just heard of it not long ago, and I've been doing it. Man, it's harder than running if you do it, because I come down with the middle of my foot, then I bring the toes down. I put the foot in front of the other one, bring it down, the ball of it, then the toe, then I put the other foot, then I do the other. I'm not walking, I'm doing putting that foot before that one and putting them feet down a certain way, and I'm balancing it out and shifting it from side to side. It's not easy, but I feel the pull. It's working. It's working my whole body, and that's what I want. When I finished doing, I was like, man, I no wonder they. And then I, done added some little new moves. You get bored doing the same, but I added some more things to my qigong with this, and then you can find little stuff up here too. Your eyelids and your cheeks and your arms, Then you need to beat on your kidneys, not too hard, but your kidneys and your gallbladder, your liver. You need to massage your chakra, like your sacral chakra. You need to get that energy out of it. Your legs and stuff and stretching. You don't got to do a lot, but you need to do something. But y'all, this has been my Sun Goddess 777. Thank you guys for sticking with me. And y'all, thank you for liking, sharing. Please like, share. Thank you for subscribing. And I hope this has helped you. I enjoyed everybody, and I hope I have gave you some kind of just not talking about this stuff that's going on, but some kind of way out. Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of Brother Panic stuff and checking out that ISIS. I even looked at that Lextron ball. That ball's on fire. Judy K. King is good. I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to get that book and do some deep study in it too. Definitely. But y'all, this has been real. Y'all support, like, share, subscribe, support Maya Simple and Healing and Unconditional Love. And see y'all soon. I won't be gone long, but I just want to have something, some meat and bone to give you. All right, guys. This has been my Sun Goddess 777. Unconditional love, healing, balance, wholeness, protection, abundance to y'all.